What up, fight fans? We are back at it with another edition here at Round One Sports TV. I am always your host, Edwin. Where do all fights start? You know it.
Round one.
Round one, baby. Round one. Let's get this audio popping because we got a lot to talk about today, man. We got to talk about this Puerto Rican and Dominican rivalry up here going down in New York City. Yeah, that's right, the Big Apple. And you're not going to want to miss this fight. Actually, almost the top 3-4 fights on this fight card can go either way. We can break all of that down, all that and more. So tune in. We're going to be talking about Subriel Matias and Alberto Puello and what this Dominican Puerto Rican rivalry can mean for boxing. All that and more. Stay with me. I'm going to break down both sides. And like always, fight fans, let's get right into this video. What's up, my people? How you guys doing today? How you feeling? Listen, July 12th is almost here, right? We're like a week away, right? To this, stellar card in New York City. And I'm not sure you guys quite really fully grasp what's going on here in boxing right now. We're going to break all of that down. Check this out. Puerto Rico, stand up. And Santo Domingo, rise up. Listen, before I get into this breakdown, I want to speak to my people. I'm going to speak to you in Spanish for about 3 minutes, and then we're going right back to English. If you guys want, get yourselves a Spanish interpreter for these next 3 minutes, whatever. Go back. You guys can hear what I'm talking about. But right now, I just want to talk to the Latin people before I break all of this down. All right? Check it out. Mira, a todos los dominicanos y todos los boricuas allá que van a ir a ver esta pelea, están hablando de esta pelea. No vamos a olvidarnos que esto es una pelea entre como primo hermano, los boricuas y los dominicanos. Y cuando yo hablo y le tiro a un dominicano en el boxeo por los boricuas, es solamente para apoyar la pelea. No, yo no tengo en mi corazón deseo a hacerle nada a un dominicano, el primo hermano mío. Tú ves cómo estos americanos hablan en su pelea y todo lo demás. Siempre están hablando para vender la pelea. Pues vamos a venderle esta pelea. Vamos a demostrarle a esta gente que nos están mirando a nosotros, que aquí a nosotros estamos aquí también para guerra. Y que los dominicanos y los boricuas son uno de los dos países latinos que quieren estar allá arriba. Y vamos a demostrarle a ellos que nosotros somos peleadores también y boxeadores. Pero también nosotros podemos aguantar la cabeza y prender que esto es solamente para promotar la pelea. Eso es lo único, no se pierdan y que cogen esto personal. Esto no es una cosa personal. Yo quiero apoyarle a los dominicanos. Yo quiero. Es que están peleando con nosotros. So, tú vas a escuchar y vas a oír gente hablando y tirándose uno al otro. Pero no se pierdan en lo que está pasando aquí. Los dominicanos y los boricuas, mira, vamos a unirnos nosotros y vamos a meterle las manos a todos estos los que están acá. Todos esos mexicanos y los americanos y los japoneses y este ruso. Tú te tiras para allá, yo me tiro para acá y vamos a cogerle esta correa. Y por fin, vamos a tener un momento en el boxeo que el boxeo latino está ahí arriba. Y yo voy a hablar un poco mierda hoy, Pero eso es lo único para que los americanos me escuchan. Y ustedes, yo estoy vendiendo la pelea para que ellos dicen, mira, chacho, esto se están tirando, este quiere dar, esta pelea va a ser, vamos a ir a verla. Para que nos apoyan a nosotros. Son con todo eso que es lo que yo dije. Mire, nada de esto es personal. Tenemos que venderle esta pelea. Yo compré el ticket mío. Yo estoy soportando los boricuas y los dominicanos. ¿Ok? Yo estoy yendo ahí, pagué mi chavo para soportar mi raza. ¿Ah? ¿Qué ustedes están haciendo? Yo te veo en Nueva York, hermano. Y pudimos tener una fiesta. Mira, vamos a gozarnos la pelea. ¿Entiendes? Pudimos, no, este va a ganar el papá. Yo lo sé. Pero ahí se quedó ahí. Yo no le tengo deseo malo a ninguno de los latinos hermanos míos. Solamente estamos competing. That's it. All right? Now that I got that out of the way, I just want to talk to the general public now. Listen, this is an amazing fight right here, guys. All right? Dominican fighters is getting cocky like Rocky. And I be hearing them. I'm hearing you guys. I'm hearing you guys, right? And in one particular guy, what's his name? The Linear 09, he had a lot to say in my comment section. A whole lot, right? And I'm gonna rock his Dominican fighters. I gotta kick it with facts now. You had a lot to say in the chat, right? You had a lot to say. And I don't think so. All right. Listen, as far as Dominican boxing right now, y'all ain't on top of nothing. Not today. What you mean? Y'all got better boxers than us today in this era. Scratching my head. I'm like, what you talking about? Hold up. You guys got, what is it right now? 2 world champions, Carlos Adames and Alberto Puello. Who's the other one? I forgot who the other one is. I think they had 3, or did they lose a belt? Yeah, I think they lost a belt, right? They done got full belt, didn't they? Right? Yo, we have 1 world champion as a Puerto Rican fighter that, accomplished-wise, you guys can't hold his jockstrap. What do you mean you guys got better champions than us today? Or you guys, how do you figure? Oscar Collazo is a unified world champion with the Ringside magazine. 3 belts. Name me a Dominican fighter today that has that. How about this? Name me a Dominican fighter in history, in the entire history of Dominican fighter, that anybody's accomplished that. Go. I'll be right here. You don't have to study it. I'm going to look it up because I already did. There is none. There is none. Right? Okay. Now, on top of that, right? Dominican fighters right now, they are you guys beating your chest on a moment in time? A few months in boxing when you went ahead of Puerto Rican boxing. Is that what you're beating your chest over? A moment in time? A few months, 9 months, 10 months. You guys had 1 more champion than us. But what about the history of Dominican boxing? Well, the Linero here guy, 09 here, he said, according to him, he's speaking for all Dominicans, I guess, right? He said, he was like, yo, we didn't invest a lot of resources into boxing. We invested into baseball and other things. I'm sitting there scratching my head. I'm like, hold up. Y'all are fucking great in baseball. Yeah, you got that. Overall, you guys are better than us in baseball. But we right there with you. We right there. I remember in that World Series of fucking the World Baseball, we beat the shit out of you. Then we got celebrating and our pitcher, like, what do you do? Like, tweak his knee or his ankle or something? Edwin, the pitcher? Remember when they were hopping up and down? And I was like, no, and the fucking pitcher, you know what I mean? We beat you that day. We beat you many times. So we actually right here. But when it comes to Dominican baseball, Them motherfuckers is beast, bro. There's just too many good ones, bro. They lock that shit down, bro. We right there though. We right there. We like, right? Okay, cool. But you can't say that about boxing, and you can't use excuses. Meaning, oh, we didn't invest money in boxing. Bullshit. I call bullshit. Why? Because according to my research, the first Dominican boxer ever recorded in history was in the 1940s. Tio Cruz in 1968, June 29th of 1968, he became the first Dominican world champion. 1968. He started his career in the 1940s. He fought through the 1950s. So you mean to tell me Dominican boxing's been around since the 1940s? And y'all did what? We've been here before. This era that you see right now has happened fucking at least 10 times in boxing. Every 5, 6, 7 years, all of a sudden, you see these Dominican dudes popping up on their channel. They got the young prospects coming up. This is it. This is it. This is our era. This is the time. And poof, let's call it like it is. Let's call it like it is, bro. The truth is the truth. You want to break down statistics? We have 51 world champions up to date and 8 women female champions. Santo Domingo female champions, 1. In the history of boxing. How many world champions? Yo, I'm going to help Dominicans out because I can't shit on them too much, right? But we're going to hear some shit talking. I told y'all, right? I'm going to give you guys 21 world titles. And I'm counting your minor titles. Remind you, you don't really got 21 real world titles. You got minor belts that I'm allowing to count so that it can look a little better. Because we don't want to count Puerto Rican minor titles. No, you don't want to go there. Because then you're going to have to give Hector Camacho. Shit, Hector Camacho got a belt in 7 weight divisions. 7 weight divisions. Hector Camacho, look it up. What? He's only considered a world champion in 3. And he has he has minor belts in the other 4 weight divisions. But he does have a belt in 7 weight divisions. So don't fuck around with me and tell me that you really want to take serious those 21 titles I just gave you, because we can count all our minors. Shit'll get stupid. Shit'll get stupid. You guys will be so far in our rear mirror that they'll be like, Dominican boxing who? Right? You guys have opportunity now to strike. Take full advantage of it, Santo Domingo. You guys got a lot of good guys, but you're like this with blinders on. You guys are only seeing one way. You guys are grabbing onto, and I get it. I fucking get it. When Puerto Rico has like dry spells that we're not doing shit, bro, we latch on to the first Puerto Rico. Hey, yeah, please do something, right? I get it. I get what Santo Domingo's doing, bro. Respect, right? But you got your blinders on like we did at one point in time, that you're not seeing the wave coming behind you. Yeah, you see your top Dominican fighters, but you guys, hold up. Whoa. You guys don't see Keith Colon and Juan Mamita Lopez? You guys don't see those young boys coming up too? Remember, Xander's only 22. He about to fight for a world title at 22. Don't play with me, bro. Don't play with me with your little 4, 5, 6, 7 fucking contenders, and all of a sudden think, and then this thing about us being tougher. What I said, you must not understand me. You must not understand me. Peep game. Throughout the history, right? Well, I'm going to speak about where I came from. Newark, New Jersey, was born, was raised Newark, New York, Philly, Boston, that way. That's my area right there. Boom. I was raised right there, right? And there was a time in the era where Dominicans was flooding the U.S. They was coming in, but there was marks in my neighborhood. They was getting robbed left and right till they started sticking up for themselves. So they cut a lot of the Puerto Ricans off because they was like, we can't fuck with them. They keep getting us, right? But they was smart. They was smart. They kept progressing, kept progressing. And in life, life taught me this. Life taught me this. I remember when I was a kid in the 80s in New York and New Jersey growing up. And back like when my father used to talk in the 70s, who was it that was running shit back then? The Italians, right? And in Boston, it was the Irish, the white dudes. 15 years, 20 years later after that run, who was running shit? Black folk. They had Harlem locked down. Everything you seen, car washes, corner store were black owned car washes, corner stores, black communities, black restaurants, right? 20 more years. All the black people got out. And now you seeing Spanish bodegas pop up everywhere. Puerto Ricans had bodegas. They had car washes. They had everybody evolves. After our wave, we faded out and the Dominicans came in. Now you see Dominican on car washes, things like that. You see how the eras go? In each era, they've evolved. Where are the black folks? They're not on, they don't make car washes that much. They don't do corner stores. They got suits and ties on now. They're in corner offices. Same shit with everybody else. We have our turn. Same thing for this shit in sports. Sometimes there's a wave. Remember that Mexican wave that went on for a long fucking time? The UK was dominating the heavyweight scene for a very long time, right? So, so all that, I said all that to show you that there is waves in boxing, right? Okay. And I really think that the Dominicans, our neighboring cousins, are 100% in the mix, right? But we got to get people to come out and see us. We got to get the people to come out and see us for who we really are. You see? And I think that as far as the side for Dominican boxing, I mean, talk about Dominican boxing. Dominican boxing right now, right? As far as the country that I think has the most promising, had one of the biggest explosions, right, is Santo Domingo. They just don't have the hardware just yet to back up their claim. They only got two great champions, which is Carlos Adames and Alberto Puello. That's leading the way for them. They got a lot of potential, and like the Soreño brothers, they got a lot, but they need the hardware. You're gonna need that. You see? So as far as them, I think that they're on a rise. I love what Santo Domingo is doing, going out, branching out, getting better trainers from Puerto Rico, from all over the world. It seems like a lot of Dominican fighters are taking the sport very seriously, and they're really trying to make a claim, at the shot, at the best guys. So, like I said in this video, I'm about to talk with my guest here, Frontline. I want to let him in, hear what he has to say about this too, as well. We want to talk about this, and I get it. It's two Puerto Rican dudes talking about a Puerto Rican Dominican fighter. Where the fuck side are we on, right? We're on the side of boxing, because no matter who hears this, they're gonna hear the passion, the intensity of this fight. They're gonna hear our voice loud and clear. We're not Dominican fighters and Puerto Rican fighters. We ain't runners. We ain't gonna run. We gonna stand there and we gonna bang. And we're gonna show the rest of the boxing world that if you want to see a good fight, and whenever they say a Puerto Rican or Dominican dude fighting, let's give these people a show. Let's steal the night. And I think we have potential of doing just that. Frontline, how are you doing, bro?
What's up, Bobby? No,
Man,
I jumped on to let you know Antonio's in the chat. He said to send the link.
he says,
That's the leader. That's the leader.
I wasn't even reading the chats. I'm sorry I didn't have
Nah, I
them up.
got you. That's why I jumped on.
Okay, okay. Let me drop the link and invite my guest up. I love
Yo,
it.
but to your point though,
Yes.
right now, DR,
Uh-huh.
they got a gentleman by the name of John Santana
Yeah.
who's getting ready to fight. Phenomenal Dominican fighter.
Yeah.
Phenomenal. You got Rohan Polanco. We already know his
That's
his
my boy.
potential.
That's my boy.
Phenomenal. You
Yeah.
got you got like you said, Yuri and Hendry Cedeño.
Yeah.
Those two phenomenal fighters. Not knocking the Dominican fighters. What
Yeah.
I am going to say though, because it is war week,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
it
Yeah.
is war week, and I stand with my flag,
Oh
ten
yeah.
toes down.
10 toes.
So now we get to talk shit,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So here's the shit that I'm gonna say.
Yeah.
The Dominican fighters that
Yeah.
are at the top:
Yep.
Alberto Puello, Carlos Adames. You got John Santana, Rohan
Yeah.
Polanco,
Right.
the Cedeno brothers, so on and so forth.
Yep.
Who trains them? You got
American and Puerto Rican guys.
Puerto Rican and Cuban.
Cuban. Okay.
You got Salas that's training Puello, and I think he got Adames too, if I'm not mistaken.
Mm-hmm.
You got you can't forget about the other guys that haven't fought in a while. They got Elvis Rodriguez.
Mhm.
They
He
also
just lost.
have huh?
He just lost recently or something. His
Yeah,
last
he
fight.
did. He did, but you
Yeah.
still got to give him credit. He's still a
Yeah.
good fighter.
Yeah.
Then you got the other one. Although I'm not a fan of his father, but I got to give him credit because he's a good boxer, and it's Michel Rivera.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And from
Yeah.
my understanding, I don't know what Rocky. What is he? Is he Dominican or is he Puerto Rican?
Rocky's Puerto Rican.
Okay, he's out of the Worcester.
Yes.
So, and then you got the Polanco. He's training with the guy in Springfield. What's his name?
I'm Hector there.
Hector. That's the trainer over there, right?
Right.
Also Puerto Rican.
Yep.
And again, I'm not knocking them, but as far as Dominican trainers, Bobby, they don't have nothing compared to Puerto Rican trainers.
No, they're behind the curve. That's why they needed to branch out. The
Correct.
Dominicans they had to and a lot of Puerto Rican trainers moved out to Santo Domingo. A few of them anyway that I know.
Right.
I forget a couple of their names, but I know for a fact they did this. I could look it up and get more names and stuff, but
I mean,
um
there's more that keep popping up. I mean, as we talk, look at this guy at the Edwin de los Santos, another one, good fucking Dominican fighter.
yeah,
There,
yep.
there's dude, there's a lot of them. We're not. You got to understand, we're not knocking Dominican boxing.
No, 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 hell no.
Pero puñeta, it's fucking war week.
Listen, vamos a venderle esta pelea. Vamos
Eh,
a venderla. Vamos. Los americanos lo que les gustan es hablando mierda, pero vamos a respetarnos. No vamos a hablar de nuestra madre, ni esposa,
no,
ni
none of that. Nope.
hijo. Yo no te voy a amenazar y decirle a ti que te voy a matar y si te veo en la cara, te voy a romper la cara. Oye, no vamos ahí. Vamos a respetarnos y demostrarlo a los americanos. Mira, esta gente están hablando como se van ahí a todo y dame. Vamos a verle esta pelea. Pues vamos a
Yep,
venderse la puñeta.
that's
You,
it.
you know what I'm saying? Because we need eyes. We need more eyes to our fighters. Both sides.
Yo, I just want to make sure that you didn't forget about him.
Who? Forget
Antonio,
about,
did he click the link
I
or
the link is there, bro. What you?
I
I mean,
know I see
would,
the link, but
would you like me to put it 3 times? I mean,
he just says send the link. I'm here. I'm not running from you. Okay,
oh,
papi.
but okay, well then let me go over to the YouTube channel thing and let me see if I can put the
It's
link up here because
it's there. I see it.
nah, I'm gonna put it up 2 times. Maybe he doesn't see that one. I don't know. I don't know.
Come on, el
Hey, yo.
líder. Where are
They
you?
be saying drop the link and I be dropping the fire and then I don't know. No. You know what? He's probably taking time downloading the app.
Oh,
Because if he
okay.
doesn't have the restream, you got to do
Yeah.
that first process thing. So he's probably doing that. So we're gonna give him a couple minutes, But if not, it's gonna look what it looks like. You know what I mean?
A correr, a huir.
I will. No coja. Vamos a hablar. You know what I
But
mean?
yo, salute to Puerto Rican rum. in the building.
In the building. Read off some of those
También.
stats while I'm looking this up.
Hector Tapia, what's up, Papi? Otro, he made a good point. We started the DR versus PR rivalry
Yeah.
with Kiria Tapia
Yeah, we
versus
beat
the
him.
Dominican chick. She won, I think it was second or third round knockout.
Right.
And then we had Jacob Gomez fight on the against another Dominican who won. I want to say that fight was by decision. That
Okay.
was on the Universal Promotion card at Road to Glory.
So we got 2 wins on him so far.
Ya empezó la mierda.
Ya
Ya,
empezó.
we up two already.
Vamos, puñeta.
We up two already.
We up 2-0. Where's my man at? Oh, he's here. He's in the building, my man. Oh, front line.
Yo,
Vamos a
respect.
respetar the guest.
Yep, absolutely.
Wait. I think this is who's this? Espérate. Let me get you guys all up on the screen right the correct way. Hold on. Bing. Bing, boom, bang. Ahí vamos. How you
El
doing?
Dire.
¿Cómo
What's
está,
up,
varón?
papi?
Ah, how you doing today? ¿Cómo está?
Oh, well, so far so good. So ready.
So far, so good.
Papi, como
Habla.
tú quieras, en español o en inglés, o
Como
te
tú
sientas
quieras, yo
mejor.
lo doy como.
Aquí se habla hasta Spanglish.
Ay, espérate. Yo lo tengo. Yo voy para atrás. Wait.
Ari Boxing Talk.
Él vino y
Ari
como.
Boxing Talk. The panel is open. You can
So
come
dime,
up.
frontline, let me ask him a couple questions.
Dale, papi. Go ahead.
Dime, en esta pelea contra Subriel Matias y Alberto Puello, ¿cómo tú la ves y cómo tú ves Alberto Puello parando a subir en la pelea o ganando la pelea? ¿Cómo tú la ves?
A mí, tú me preguntas.
Sí,
Bueno, ¿qué te digo? La verdad que yo te voy a ser muy sincero. No
sí.
te va a pasar que paño con pasta. Para mí,
Ajá,
Subriel, en mi opinión, es un boxeador técnicamente muy limitado. Tiene poco que hacer si hablamos de boxeo con un Puello.
ajá.
He
Espérate.
must
Oh,
have, he got bad signal, papi.
ya, no, le llamaron. Espérate. Dale.
¿Me copia ahora?
Sí.
¿Me copia?
Ajá. Te
No,
escucho.
te digo que yo
Sí.
entiendo que Subriel es un boxeador muy limitado a nivel técnico, pero que el tipo tiene realmente bravo, tiene cojones, eso hay que dársela.
Ujú,
Y
ujú,
eso le puede dar una victoria a él porque se ha demostrado que eso él lo domina, porque yo entiendo que tú no tienes que ser un wizard de boxeo para tú ser mejor.
ujú,
Si
ujú,
tú eres un máster en lo que tú haces bien y tú lo llevas a un nivel al superior, tú puedes ganarle a cualquiera. Y Subriel ha demostrado que sí, que tiene con eso él puede lograr ganar, aunque le falte técnica y eso hay que
ujú,
dársela. O sea que creo que una pelea pareja, Puello para mí favorito, no porque sea dominicano, pero creo que tiene más recursos que Subriel.
ujú.
Subriel es un tipo que luce bien con
Ajá. Espérate.
no se mueven en pasos laterales, con las personas que están enfrente de él. Por ejemplo, mira, un comentario con una persona que yo tuve ahí en YouTube comentando, me decía, no, porque Yukembayev es mejor boxeador que Puello 1000 veces. Y yo le
Ujú,
digo, oye, tú no puedes decir eso. Si tú buscas la pelea de Yukembayev, y yo a ustedes se lo puedo decir porque entren ahora mismo cuando acabe el live y la vean,
ujú,
Yukembayev no tiró el jab. No creo que si tiró 15 jab en la pelea fue mucho. No tiró el jab. Un tipo que se mueve
ujú,
solamente en pasos frontales, no se mueve para los lados. Él simplemente se mueve para atrás y para adelante. Nunca se
ujú.
movió para los laterales. Nunca hizo el clinch, por ejemplo. No hizo clinch con Matías. Busca la pelea. Por el
Sí,
contrario, lo que hacía era que lo, sin
sí.
embargo, él lo que hacía era que lo empujaba con la mano izquierda. Fíjate la pelea. Él lo que hacía que lo empujaba con la mano izquierda siempre. Y eso te
Sí,
desgasta más. O sea, que él se desgastó mucho por falta de inteligencia. Porque
sí.
empujaba mucho a su break donde iba adelante en vez de hacer el clinch y no usaba
Ujú,
el jab. Porque él
ujú.
empujaba para buscar distancia. Por ejemplo, no sé, esos peleadores que son así, que son.
Ah,
Pero
it's
Espérate.
getting
mira,
good.
pero mira lo que pasó con Paro. Fue un tipo que fue inteligente en la pelea, lo abrazaba, le hacía el clinch, tiraba combinaciones le hacía el clinch, se movió pasos laterales más o menos. Y pudo hacer una pelea que, si bien no fue que él ganó sobrado, pero fue efectivo y ganó. Hay que estar claro que
Sí,
ganó.
sí,
O sea que
sí.
Puello puede hacer eso y más. Que
Ujú.
Puello pega un poquito menos que Paro, sí, pero tiene más movimiento, tiene más defensa, tiene más golpeo variado abajo y arriba, que Paro solamente pegaba prácticamente arriba.
Sí.
Entonces, una cosa compensa a la otra. Una pelea cerrada, Puello para mí es favorito por decisión unánime.
Ajá. Yo, mira, todo lo que tú dijiste, eso es lo que me tiene preocupado. Todo lo que tú hablaste, todo lo que tú mencionaste de Puello, Alberto Puello, eso es lo que me tiene preocupado. Yo no te voy a mentir y no te voy a decir que Subriel no tiene solamente un estilo, porque eso es lo que es, ¿verdad? Pero lo que yo hablo en esta pelea es el toughness, tú sabes, el durability de Subriel. Y lo mismo que tú dijiste, con eso él demostrado en su pasado que eso le puede ganar la pelea. Lo único que de paro fue la pegada para mí. Cuando él no podía golpear Sando Martin o Gary Antoine Russell, yo dije, estos tigres aguantan los puños de él bien. So, yo me estaba poniendo en la mente el asalto 9, 10, 11, 12. Si Alberto Puello no lo saque de ahí temprano, que la pelea puede ir por Subriel. Pero ese jab que tiene Alberto Puello está cabrón. Y él tira, él tira los puños bien lindo. Él la pone a combination, uno detrás del otro. Él lo pone bien
Alberto
lindo.
muy, oye, Alberto muy preciso cuando conecta. Alberto no bota golpes. Alberto es un tipo que
No,
cuando tira, conecta.
conecta. Sí, es bien accurate. Ok. So, en esa
It's accurate, it's
parte,
accurate.
accurate like a motherfucker, bro. He's good. So, me tiene preocupado en esa parte, right? Entonces, the machine that is Subriel Matias. ¿Qué nosotros que estamos viendo? Él coge golpe y sigue para adelante. Coge golpe, sigue y sigue y sigue. Y él estaba ahí adentro con unos tipos que pueden pegarle. Subriel estaba ahí con, yo creo que fue 4 invictos peleadores que no saben perder. Eran invictos, gente que eran knockout artists, que pegan duro. So, eso porque yo creo que la pelea va a ser bien eléctrico. Y yo creo que esta pelea va a ser una de las mejores peleas, si no la mejor pelea en la carta.
Ok, ahora me toca a mí roncar, puñeta, que
Ok,
aquí vamos a
ok.
hablar.
Dale, dale.
Ronca, ronca.
Ok,
Mete mano.
Puello hay que dársela. Hay que dársela, tiene un estilo de boxeo buenísimo. Y bonito, y bonito. Pero lo que pasó con Gary Antoine Russell, que mucha gente dice que Gary Antoine Russell es mejor peleador que Subriel. Ok, la, la teoría que la gente usa, que nosotros, la teoría triángulo, que dicen que porque le ganó a este boxeador, un boxeador no se sabe si le puede ganar a otro boxeador hasta que se metan en el cuadrilátero. Ahora, Subriel, la presión que tiene Subriel y la presión que le va a meter Subriel a Puello, Puello nunca ha experimented o experienced
Yeah.
este, esa presión. O sea, la pelea entre Sandor Martin y Puello fue una pelea apretada, cerrada. Yo vi Puello ganando, pero fue bien apretada.
De acuerdo.
Entonces, la pelea, no sé, papi, yo soy fanático del boxeo, a mí no me importa de qué país sea, si el boxeo,
Yo también, yo también. Por
si el
eso se la voy
boxeo
a
está
Matías, que
bueno,
duro.
el boxeo está bueno. Ahora, la pelea de Gary Anton Russell con Puello, a mí me importa un bicho lo que diga la gente. Esa pelea para mí, Puello la ganó a ojos cerrados. Para mí,
Claro
para
la ganó.
mí,
Claro la ganó.
claramente. No fue cerrada como la de Sandor Martin. Ahora, de la única manera, de la única manera que Puello le pueda ganar a Subriel es en patines.
¿Tú crees?
En patines.
Pero ¿a qué tú le llamas patines? Ese, por favor, un poco más
Sí,
específico, porque ¿qué tú te
O en
refieres en patines?
patines es más o menos,
peleando.
más o menos,
Ajá.
como la pelea
Ujú.
de Shakur con De Los Santos.
Eso fue
Eso,
cogiendo.
eso fue, no, para eso fue
Yo no
con el
creo que
camino.
Puello va a hacer ese. Yo creo que se va a mover.
No, no,
No,
para
Ese va a
ok.
nada, para nada.
mover. Ese va
Ahora,
a mover y
mira,
va a tirar.
Broadway Joel trajo un punto.
Sí.
Akhmedov.
Ajá.
Akhmedov. esa pelea de Akhmedov con Puello, para mí,
Ajá.
la ganó Akhmedov. Se la dieron a Puello. Y yo la
Bueno,
apunté 7-5 a favor de
sí.
Akhmedov. Pero otra vez, era una pelea que era tan cerrada que podía ir de cualquier manera y el fanático no se podía molestar porque era cerrada.
Yeah.
Ok.
Pero
Ajá.
para mí, yo vi a Akhmedov ganar. Para mí.
Ujú.
Now,
Y,
la presión que
What's your point?
la presión que Subriel le va a meter a Puello, papi,
ajá.
va a estar a otro
Ujú.
nivel. A otro nivel que Puello, papi, si tú ves las peleas de Matías, pierda o gane, los boxeadores, ya para el tercer asalto, se parecen que han dado guerra por 2 asaltos.
Sí, no, es difícil para pelear un hombre
Porque
como
se le
él.
paran, brother. Porque se le paran a pelear y no tienen recursos más que
Muñeco,
pararse. Pues yo no es ese tipo que se va a parar a pelear como un loco ahí.
muñeco, es que Subriel te hace parar y pelear. Subriel,
No, eso no es verdad. Eso no es
papi,
verdad.
Subriel sabe
Eso es
cortar
mentira.
el ring. Ok, él no tiene movimiento de cadera, de cabeza, de nada. Él no tiene movimiento para
Espérate,
nada.
espérate.
Frontline,
Dime,
Espérate,
papi.
frontline.
dale.
Oye, y si yo te digo a ti, y si yo te digo a ti, te voy a dar argumento, pues yo soy un
Sí,
tipo que, igual que tú, soy fanático del boxeo, el estudio, y me gusta
ajá,
analizarlo. Si yo te digo a ti que para
ajá.
Puello, subir una pelea en un sentido bastante más fácil que Amedov en el aspecto de la presión, no de la calidad, porque Subriel es mucho más, a mejor calidad que Amedov. Ahora, a nivel de la presión, yo te puedo decir a ti las razones de por qué va a ser más fácil, si tú me
Sí,
das
Dale,
el
dale,
dime.
chance, yo te
dale.
explico. Oye, lo que pasa con Amedov y Subriel. La diferencia es que van a favorecer a Puello en favor a
Ujú.
Subriel y con Amedov. Subriel es un tipo que tiene los pies siempre juntos y siempre está parado muy standing high. O sea,
Derecho, parado
está
derecho, con
parado
la.
recto,
Ajá.
Sí,
derecho. Almedov es un tipo que tiene más rapidez de pierna, no tal vez mejor fútbol, quién sabe, pero por lo menos más rapidez de pierna que lo puede notar y le cambia mucho los niveles y es más pequeño que Subriel. Por lo tanto, para Puello hacerle clinch a Almedov es mucho más
Sí.
difícil porque es
Ujú.
bajito. Entonces, Subriel, aparte de que tiene las piernas siempre juntas, mayormente, se mueve muy recto, es más alto. Y cuando tú le tiras combinaciones, mientras Medov te podía contragolpear, Subriel lamentablemente tiene la mala maña de simplemente usar el high guard y
sí.
cubrirse, por lo que tú puedes hacer combinaciones y hacerle clinch. No sé, al estar más alto y parado más recto, es más fácil para Puello hacerle clinch o moverse en pasos laterales que Medov, porque Medov siempre estaba en el contragolpeo y con el cambio de nivel en la altura podía perseguirlo más fácil. A Subriel, que tú le tiras combinaciones, te puede mover, que fue lo que le hizo Paro. Le tiraba combinaciones, se movía y buscaba
Sí.
Ahora
distancia.
que tú
O
mencionas
sea, que
a Paro, si tú viste la pelea al final del sexto asalto, empezando el séptimo, ¿qué fue lo que dijo Paro en la esquina?
Que se iba a cuitear.
Se quería
no, no,
quitar.
no, perdón. Él no dijo nada. Él se veía muy incómodo, de verdad, y se veía como que estaba coño, en verdad, como que quería, pero no fue que él dijo nada. Ahora, la esquina que vio eso, que notó que él estaba
Sí.
como cansado, así desbaratado, le dijeron, hey, ¿qué te pasa, papá? Vamos arriba, y lo animaron, pero no que él dijo que se quería quitar, nunca él lo dijo, ¿eh?
Bueno, con lo que tú estabas diciendo de Subriel en el high guard, eso sí es verdad, eso es cierto, ¿verdad? Lo único que yo voy a aplicar es, si tú no lo viste o para que lo veas, vaya y ve la pelea contra Subriel Matías versus
Malik Hawkins.
no, 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 what's his name? Uh, um, um, está aquí en la lengua y no lo puedo usar. El que peleó por la correa, Subriel, por la Vacant
Ponce.
Belt. Ponce. Ve a ver esa pelea de Ponce. Ponce se estaba moviendo, estaba usando la pierna y él tiró casi 100 puños en el primer round contra Subriel. Ponce se estaba moviendo, él estaba peleando afuera, él estaba tirando el jab.
No, Ponce peleó en la media distancia, toda esa pelea, entera la peleó en la
No,
media.
es que fue, Subriel lo
Sí,
trajo, lo hizo porque
no. Mira, lo primero que Ponce salió a atacar, los primeros 3 rounds fueron totalmente de ataque. En el segundo comenzó a disminuir un poco, o no disminuir, sino que Subriel ya como que le metió un poquito de presión a él y ahí fue más parejo. Pero los primeros tres
sí,
rounds, Ponce estuvo encima de Subriel. ¿Cómo tú vas a pelear en la larga distancia estando encima de Subriel? Eso no tiene
pues,
sentido. Y la pelea está ahí, el video se ve claramente. Ponce le cayó encima a Subriel y peleó en la media y en la
sí,
corta.
sí,
y lo tiró todo en los primeros 4 rounds. En el cuarto round ya Ponce no era nadie, nadie.
Y Subriel, pero ¿tú no crees que eso es por el peleador que es Subriel? The fear que él le pone a este hombre, que él dijo, dame
Eh,
atacarlo.
sí y no. Sí y no. ¿Por qué digo
Ajá,
sí y no? Sí, porque Subriel hace eso con, si no todo, la mayoría de los boxeadores que él pelea con
sí,
todo. Y no, porque en este caso quien propuso la pelea desde el principio no fue Subriel. Si tú ves la pelea, fue Ponce quien
sí,
propuso. Ahora, no le funcionó porque Subriel es un tipo duro, que no un tipo que se va a dejar doblegar tan fácil y que aguanta golpes y que un tipo que ya está acostumbrado a eso.
ujú,
Ponce no, para Ponce era algo nuevo. Ponce estaba gambling, como dices,
sí,
él se la
sí,
jugó. Subriel no, Subriel estaba dejando lo que él tire, porque él sabe que él aguanta, ¿me
ujú,
entiendes? Oye, a Subriel, tú no le vas a ganar nunca tirando golpes y que fajándote con él.
ujú,
Imposible. Porque ese tipo ya ha dominado ese estilo, ya él lo masterizó. Nadie puede, o muy pocos poseedores,
sí.
a menos que sea un tipo que pegue muy duro, pero le puede agarrar a Subriel
Y
así.
déjame preguntarte,
No
¿y,
sé,
y el side del ring, te molesta o no? Eh, el
¿el qué?
side del ring que van a
El
pelear
size.
el size.
El size,
Sí,
el
el tamaño,
tamaño.
perdón, el tamaño del ring. Este,
Bueno,
dime,
a- 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 hasta donde yo sé, eso quedó sin efecto. De eso ya no lo van a tomar, no va a ser así, hasta donde yo sé.
ellos dicen que va a ser 20,
20 por 20.
20 por
Lo,
20.
Sí, pero 20 por 20 es el ring normal. Toda la última pelea que Pollo ha peleado ha sido 20 por 20,
Ok,
todita
o-
prácticamente, casi
ok,
todo.
so el tamaño del ring bueno, lo que yo estoy de acuerdo que esta pelea es bien difícil para las dos partes. Yo estoy de acuerdo de eso. Yo no soy tonto, ¿verdad? Yo sí estoy apoyando a Subriel, pero estoy tratando de apoyar a todo el mundo acá para que salgan para afuera para verle esta pelea, ¿me entiendes? So,
Tú sabes algo,
ajá,
mira, esta pelea yo creo que va a ser difícil, pero si yo tuviera que decir que va a ser fácil para uno de los dos lados, yo diría que va a ser para Subriel. O sea, te explico,
ajá,
va a ser difícil,
ajá,
¿verdad? Pero si yo tuviera que irme por un lado, para qué boxeador, en caso de que sea fácil, para cuál de los dos va a ser fácil, sería para Subriel, porque Subriel sí puede meter la presión que tal vez Puello no la pueda aguantar. O
ujú,
sea, si tuviera que decir, bueno, va a ser fácil para uno de los dos, va a ser para Subriel.
sí,
Ahora, tuviera que apostar mi dinero, no va a ser fácil.
ajá.
Eh, yo creo que no, que Pollo va a imponer su estilo. Ahora, en caso de que sea fácil, va a ser para Subriel, porque ahí él va a meter la presión, la pegada. Si el Pollo no aguanta la pegada, la presión, lo que
a
sea,
mí,
tú
a mí
sabes.
lo que me preocupa,
Pollo,
a mí lo que me preocupa es que Sala no le gusta tirar la toalla. Y Dios,
Ah,
y Dios,
bueno,
y Dios
si él no ha
quiera,
visto un boxeador,
Dios quiera y salgan los
ah,
dos saludables. Pero si Subriel le llega a meter las manos, porque Subriel está roncando, él viene a matar o morir. Él no viene con esa, darle pena.
él siempre hace lo mismo, pero que Subriel siempre viene con lo mismo y tiene 2 derrotas.
sí,
No,
sí,
está, ok.
Miren,
So,
ustedes,
ajá,
sin excusa, sin excusa, sin excusa,
sí,
sin excusa. La primera derrota contra Anañan,
ese se
sí.
la jugaron.
eso fue después, como 2 o 3 años después, él fue el que dijo que para esa temporada que pasó lo que pasó con Dara Chef, él empezó a fumar,
He wasn't drugs.
él empezó a fumar con cojones. Ok,
No, no, no,
Yeah.
mira, no, dame explicarlo mejor. Lo que pasó fue porque yo hablé con Subriel, personal. Y Subriel estaba pasando por eso, que eso le estaba afectando, que él peleó con alguien y un tragic accident, el hombre perdió la vida, ¿viste? Eso le estaba afectando. Entonces, eso le afectó que la última pelea que Subriel tuvo, que él estaba metiendo en las manos a ese tipo, que él estaba mirando al referee, le estaba diciendo al referee, oye, para la pelea, yo no le quiero que seguirla dando a este tipo, que por la primera vez que yo vi que Subriel estaba pensando en el otro. Él no quería que algo así se repetía, it repeats itself. So, la mentalidad que Subriel estaba dando nosotros ahora entrando a esta pelea, que mira, ahora, mira, yo
volvió
no
el
voy a,
gallo,
sí,
volvió el
yo no voy a
gallo.
estar con eso, pero eso le afecta al peleador, eso le afecta porque
Ok,
yo le
¿y dónde
dije,
estaba el gallo cuando peleó con Paro?
Ok,
Bueno,
espera. Vamos, claro, vamos a hablar de eso. Eso ahí, yo estaba ahí. Yo estaba ahí live en Puerto Rico. Yo estaba en esa pelea. Y
Ya.
cuando yo estaba mirando, yo estaba diciendo, oye, pero isn't clinching illegal in boxing? Excessive clinching. You
No,
can't do that. ¿Por qué el referee dejó que Liam Paro cogió a Subriel tanto en Puerto Rico y ni le quitó un punto? No le dio 2 warnings, pero toda la pelea, he was clinching. And you're not supposed to clinch in boxing at all. You could clinch on one time on the break, that's it. But he kept grabbing him. So yo me quedé sorprendido. Yo dije, wow, that's a lot of clinching. So yo
y
sé,
para mí, eso fue mala preparación del equipo de Matías, de
yeah,
no saber salirse del clinch
del
como estaba
clinch.
supuesto.
Él no estaba preparado para eso. No. Subriel, Liam Paro surprised Subriel con el strategy que él trajo y Subriel had no answers for him. Pero yo sé que él va a aprender de eso. Y yo sé que en el locker room, ellos le van a decir, mira, referee, cuando el referee entra para decirle los final instructions in the locker room to the fighters, and they say, do you have any questions? Yo sé que el equipo de Subriel va a decir, watch the clinching. Watch
tú
Alberto's
sabes,
clinching.
tú sabes por qué a Paro no le quitaron puntos. Ni debieron haberle quitado puntos. A pesar de que sí, tal vez un poquito, tal vez más de la cuenta del clinch. Porque con los referees te penaliza por el clinch. Es cuando tú refuse to engage. O sea, cuando tú haces mucho clinching, pero tú te rehusas a buscar el contacto, la pelea.
Yeah.
Ujú.
Pero Paro nunca rehusó buscar la pelea. Él hacía clinch, pero se salía y tiraba golpe. O sea, ahora cuando un boxeador tuve que ya está rehusando el engagement con la pelea y que nada más está buscando el clinch porque está cansado, porque está golpeado, lo que sea. Ahí sí el referee toma cuenta, pero este pana lo que nada más está buscando clinch, no quiere pelear. En el caso de Paro, no. Tú buscas la pelea completa. Paro nunca rehusó, nunca dejó de buscar la pelea. En todo el tiempo buscó la pelea. Entonces, ahí, lamentablemente,
Cuando
es difícil
sí,
tú penalizar a un tipo que está buscando la pelea, que si se agarra un ratico, vuelve y sale, papá, vuelve y entra, vuelve y tira. Y,
Papi,
y, y, y-
del 9 hasta el 12, ese
ajá.
macho no tiró mucho golpe. Él lo que
Punto.
hacía aguantando y corriendo,
no
aguantando y
aguantó,
corriendo.
él
Después
aguantó
del
mucho.
9 asalto,
Él
después del
aguantó
9.
mucho. Yeah, because yo estaba ahí live y I see Subriel's frustration. Él quería salir de clinch and he kept holding him, and then the referee came and split them up. So he was holding him until they broke him up. So he didn't want to let Subriel punch off the break, and he kept grabbing him like that. In the beginning, what he was doing, the way he was using the clinch was real smart. He was clinching Subriel and spinning him and then punching out. And then that's when he was using the clinch effective. But in the later rounds, when he started getting tired, Liam Paro was just grabbing him. He was just grabbing him, holding him until they
Y no
broke.
estaba
Yeah.
tirando.
But in the
Y
beginning,
no estaba
what
tirando.
Liam Paro did was fucking brilliant. It was brilliant to fight a style of Subriel's style. The way he was spinning Subriel, he clinched him, he spun him, but he was punching off the break. So he was tagging Subriel. I was sitting there going, damn, bro. But at the end, he was clinching just to survive. He was just not to get punched,
Ah,
you know.
Antonio, ven acá, pregunta.
Dímelo.
Que mucha gente dicen que Puello por
No,
nocao.
no, no,
¿Qué
no,
tú
Oh
no,
crees?
no,
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 no.
no. I don't know about that
No,
one.
no, no.
Mira,
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 en el
mira.
boxeo, en el boxeo nada es imposible, pero
No
eso
es
es
imposible.
muy improbable. O sea, eso yo lo veo, no.
Ujú. Y
Papi,
también,
eso.
Subriel nunca ha caído. ¿Me entiende?
Él
Él
nunca ha
nunca ha
tocado
tocado
lona.
la lona.
Él nunca ha tocado lona.
No,
sí y no.
no, porque
Eh,
eso fue un
Bueno,
standing eight count.
el standing eight count,
Darwin,
eso si
Yeah.
tú.
Ajá,
recuérdate
ajá.
que el standing neck count se hace cuando, según la apreciación del referee, las cuerdas es lo único que te impide tocar la lona. Y si tú ves el video, si ves el video de Subriel en la pelea con Ananyan,
Ajá.
es más que claro, es obvio que lo único que le impidió a él tocar la lona fue la cuerda. Olvídate de eso, de que
No, porque lo mismo pasó cuando peleó con Ergusev en el segundo asalto, o en el primer asalto, perdón, que Ergusev le dio abajo y él se echó para atrás y las cuerdas estaban ahí y
Eso,
no, 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 no,
eso,
no, no, no,
eso
no,
depende del
pero
referee.
Pero una cosa es tú echas para atrás y tú tienes el balance, que se ve que tú tienes tu balance, y otra es como tú ibas fuera de balance. Y en el video, yo veo otra vez, porque yo soy un tipo que me gusta el boxeo, lo he analizado. Oye, vean el
Sí,
video,
yo lo veo.
lo único que le impide a Subriel en ese momento caerse fue las cuerdas, lo único. Iba para abajo, estaba totalmente, el tipo estaba listo en ese momento. Se repuso, metió
No.
mano, el tipo tiene cojones y un corazón del carajo. Hay que
Ah,
dársela. Pero tú ves el video, el tipo sí va a caer. O sea que no me digas a mí que no ha caído, cayó, es lo mismo.
well, yo no lo vi. Yo lo vi que la cabeza hizo así y él echó
No, no,
para
no. El
atrás.
tipo
Pero,
estaba, iba para atrás, pero sin. Es más, mira, te voy a decir una cosa, y sin faltar respeto a Subriel,
sí, sí, sí,
que para
sí.
mí es un gran campeón, y te digo, yo hablo de la sinceridad, no me gusta estar, te hablo, tengo respeto por ese tipo,
Ajá.
porque es un cojonú. Ahora, lo mejor que le pasó a él fue que le hicieron ese conteo. Si no hace el conteo, lo noquea. El tipo estaba ido, fuera.
¿Tú crees?
Claro, busca el video, búscalo ahora mismo, ponlo ahí. Búscalo,
Lo voy a hacer ahora mismo. Eso es lo que estoy
búscalo.
diciendo. Eso es
Si
lo
no le
que.
hace conteo, lo noquea.
¿A quién? ¿A Subriel?
Claro, claro,
Nunca,
si no
nunca.
le hacen el conteo, lo
No.
noquea, brother, estaba afuera. El tipo estaba listo ya.
Papi, la gente dice que Puello no pega ni un sello. ¿Qué tú crees?
Eh, Mira, ¿sabe qué? ¿Sabe qué? No, 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 no. ¿Sabe qué? Yo pudiera estar de acuerdo con eso realmente. No, yo no te voy a decir que no, porque es que Puello no ha demostrado que pega. Yo no te puedo decir que él pega si no pega. Él no pega.
Ok.
Él-
Me alegro
ahora,
porque
ahora, ahora.
muchos de los domis están diciendo que tiene mucho más pegada que
No, no, yo no
Paro, tiene
creo, yo
mucho
no
más.
creo. Ahora, lo que no creo que esté muy lejos de Pablo tampoco. Ahora, sí te digo algo. Puello es un tipo que conecta bien limpio y clean. Un golpe como
Ujú.
tú lo conectas limpio, aunque no sea con el mayor de la potencia. Como tú conectas un golpe en el botón, como dicen, en the button. Oye, olvídate, que si está bien conectado, hay problema. Entonces, asegura que se cuide.
Papi, pero en esa pelea de Anañan, yo me acuerdo porque yo la he visto miles de veces. Esa pelea, esa pelea,
Sí,
el Nuca, cuando le metieron el cantazo, que él tocó las
sí.
cuerdas, papi, él estaba listo para seguir.
Búscala, él la
Es
pone ahora,
más,
la pone tranquilo, que él
espérate,
la pone ahora.
espérate.
Ajá.
Edwin, I'm going to, let me find it here. Okay, I'm gonna share it to your phone. I don't know if you could pull it
What?
up. I'm gonna text it
Okay.
to you. And then I don't know if that's Subriel with Ananyan one.
Subriel Ananya 1. That's what I'm trying to get up. It just keeps showing me Ananya, Subriel and 2.
Two. It'll show you
Only,
only the
only
two.
2. That's
Yeah.
all it's showing me.
So look at your phone. I just text you.
All right. Espérate. Yeah, I got it. I got it. I got it.
All right. Go to I think it's round 8, if I'm not mistaken.
Uh-huh. Hello?
Ari.
I got it. I got it. Let me put it up. Thank you. Ari, how you doing? Mike, check.
Estoy
Yes, I
bien.
can
Can you
hear you
hear me?
now.
There
What's
you
up,
go.
brother?
What's up, Papi?
Talk to us.
Oh, se fue.
Oh, he's back. He's back. Hey, I got him. I got him. He must have got a phone call. I got him right here. Okay.
Ari, what's up,
¿Cómo está?
Papi?
¿Cómo está? No, gracias por dejarme entrar. ¿Cómo están? Bien.
Bien,
Round
bien.
one.
Tranquilo,
Tranquilo.
Papi.
No, yo estoy escuchando la conversación, tú sabes, y,
Round
¿sabes?
one.
Frontline está diciendo Boco que Puello no pega ni un sello, está bien, él no tiene, obviamente, él no tiene pegada. Espérate.
Papi,
Da-
estamos
Yo
Dale,
sé,
dale,
yo
dale.
roncando.
sé, yo sé,
Dale,
yo
dale que
sé,
hable el hombre.
Round one.
pero tú
I
sabes,
got it.
yo sé, ok, él
Later, we're gonna talk about the shit you're talking in your life about the Dominicans boxing not being tough and all that.
Okay. Yes.
no,
Yeah.
no,
Let's
no,
get it. Let's get it. Let's get it.
no,
Let's get it.
No, que ronque. Aquí estamos para todo. Aquí que ronque. Ari, ronca si tienes que
no, porque
roncar.
estoy diciendo, está bien que
Vamos
él
arriba.
dice que él no tiene pegada como Matías, pero él pega porque pega lo suficiente para que los tigres no le caigan encima, tú sabes, y se mueve bien, tiene
Ok.
boxeo bueno. Como dijo Antonio, la pegada de Puello son bien limpias y por eso es que los jueces le dan la pelea. Contra Akhmadov, si tú te das cuenta, ok, Akhmadov está poniendo toda la presión y Akhmadov hizo un buen trabajo, ¿cómo se dice? Smothering,
Yeah,
smothering
Ari, creo que
a
Apoyo.
Puello. Pero si tú te das cuenta, como quiera, Puello le estaba conectando limpio. Tú sabes, cuando pelearan adentro.
Mhm.
Ok, Ari, te hago esta pregunta, si me
I'm
escucha.
listening.
All right. Si tú ves la pelea de Puello versus Russell,
Ajá, una salsa.
una salsa, exacto. Ahora, te pregunto, ¿tú notaste cuando Puello le tiraba el jab a Russell? ¿Qué pasaba? Russell tenía que reset
Every time.
porque a Russell no le gusta que le den.
Claro.
Ahora, con Matías se va a tener que lamber la arepa porque Subriel es de los que si le dan, él va a seguir para adelante. Él no tiene que reset porque él no tira puño de la cadera, él tira puño de los hombros.
No, eso sí es verdad. Eso sí es verdad.
¿Tú crees que el jab de Puello va a mantener a Matías fuera de encima de él? Lo dudo,
No, porque no es
lo
solamente, pero que
dudo.
no es solamente el jab. El jab no es lo único, no es lo único, no es lo
Ari
único.
salió, parece. Ari salió.
Cada que tiene.
Sí, el
Sí,
movimiento de Puello que es bonito
y
también, yo
si tú te das
entiendo.
cuenta, esa pelea de contra Gary Antoine should have been a knockout or a knockdown at least, porque cuando él le pegó, que le dio esa pegada al hígado, que Gary Antoine empezó time out, que me dio abajo, no. Cuando enseñaron el replay, si tú te das cuenta, si tú ves para atrás, fue en el
It was
mismo.
clean.
It was a
Oh, it
clean
was
shot to the
clean.
liver.
It
Oh,
was a
that was a
clean
Yeah,
clean
shot, yeah,
shot.
for
yeah.
sure.
Entonces the referee was on the other side. I mean, Gary Russell, he played it smart because he realized, okay, the ref is on this side. Él no vio donde me dio, like he didn't see where the shot hit me. So I'm gonna say it was low. It was like a low blow, but it wasn't. Yo creo que Puello tiene no es solamente boxeo, you know, the right counter against an orthodox fighter. That right hook is going to be on Matias' head all night. Anytime that Matias gets out of position, he's going to get whacked inside the head. Uh,
All right, so answer this. When Puello got hit to the body, did you see his
Contra
reaction?
quién?
Ahmedov en el sexto round.
Yeah, no, he got hit to the body, but he.
But wait, how was his reaction? How was Puello's reaction?
I mean, he held on tough. I mean, what do you want him to do? He got hit with a good
Right.
shot to the body.
Yeah.
Okay, now if you got hit by Akhmedov the way he did, can you imagine? You got to understand that Subriel's not a one punch thrower.
Yeah.
Subriel is a combination thrower, which means if he hits you with one, he's going to hit you with three or four.
Right.
And the crazy part about that is when he lets his hands go, not even he knows how fast those hands are going to
Sí,
go
pero lo que pasa es que
because he throws his combinations at a weird pace. You know
no,
what
All
I'm
no.
right.
saying?
All right. Hold on, guys. Hold on, guys. Hold on, guys. Hold on. 1 second. 1 second. 1 second. Let's see here. Let's wait. I gotta put it up.
No. Put
Yeah,
it
put on
big
the big
screen,
screen.
big screen, big screen.
All right.
Saca todo el mundo para el carajo.
Espérate, espérate, let's see. Let's see. Okay. Okay. Wait. How about like that? Okay. Okay.
Ahí,
Here
front
we
and
go. Here we
center.
go. Here we go. This is it goes down in the seventh round, somewhere around here. It's a minute 16 seconds. Let's see how it plays out.
Yo no veo
This is
nada, eh.
this is ¿Tú no ves nada?
Yo no estoy viendo nada.
¿Cómo?
¿Por qué tú estás? ¿Por la aplicación o por el website?
Ok, yo estoy en la aplicación ahora. Déjame ver. Ok.
Okay, sí, porque en el YouTube yo la
Ok,
estoy
ya,
enseñando.
parece. Ya.
Okay.
Yo, a quick shout out, Boxing on Edge, Herbert Malvez, Alicia Cruz, S.A. Killer Bees, Miguel Rodriguez, Javier Alexis, Abo Real, the whole chat. Smash that
Yeah.
like.
Mira, vamos, this is for educational purposes. We're watching Subriel Matias against Pedro Hernandez, and we want to see how Pedro Hernandez hurt Subriel Matias, and we're going to be looking over this. This is for educational purposes. Let's take a look.
Put it on mute, Edwin. Don't let
No,
the
no, it's
sound go
not.
on.
No sound.
Okay.
Now, as we can see here, Pedro Hernandez has got him against the rope. Look at Subriel's defense. That's what I'm worried about. Look. and when he pops his head up, boop, boop, boop. Oh, nice little cheeky uppercut by Subriel on the inside. Both men fighting on the way out. Oh, damn, them shots by Subriel. Little. See, the one thing about Subriel Matias, he punches from the hip. Oh, he's hurt. Subriel's hurt right there. He's hurt. Oh, he's going back. Damn, see. What the hell was that? Whoa.
Back it up a little
What you
bit.
mean? They
Back it
don't
up.
even show it.
They don't show it.
Yeah, they do.
They cut it.
They cut
Because
it.
he was hurt bad. They cut it. I'm telling you, they cut it.
They cut it.
Porque and they didn't even show the whole thing.
They didn't show the punch against the thing. Nothing. Look, Subriel was hurt there. He goes back. Boom. Come on.
And then
Nah,
they cut it.
Nah, they cut it.
Cut it.
Nah, they cut. That's
it.
not right. That's not right. No. I'm not playing that shit. No.
Cut it.
Yo, is that the video I sent you, Edwin?
Nah, I gotta get a better video, bro. We
gotta
gotta
get
see
the full,
it.
You gotta get the full one.
Yeah, we gotta get the full thing. Hold on, gentlemen. Give me a second. I'm gonna put you guys all back up on the screen, and I'm gonna back us out of this. So yeah, I'm gonna put us up right here, and I'm gonna look for a better video, and we'll go back to that because I gotta see what you're talking about.
I wonder why they did
listen,
that.
I know exactly what Antonio's talking
don't
about.
know.
Yeah, cuando le dieron a Subriel, if the ropes kept him up, if you go back and you're gonna see it. You're gonna see
Right.
It was obvious. It was obvious.
Yeah, it was obvious. No, but listen, Matias is not the type of fighter that you could knock out to the head. You could porque ese tigre, he's like the Terminator. It's true. You hit him in the head and he just keeps coming. He just keeps on coming. So, in my opinion, look, I have faith que Ismael Sala is gonna have the perfect game plan.
Right.
Ismael Sala has,
Y eso es lo que me tiene. That's what got me in
'cause-
doubts. Ismael Salas is known not to throw the towel
no,
in.
pero
So
but it's not
his fighter could be extremely hurt and he won't throw the
it's not
towel in, and that's not
but
going to be good.
it's
'Cause
not even that. It's like I said, Ismael Sala has not let Puello down. He's looked great fighting under Ismael Salas. If you go back, Salas has a bunch of wins when his guys are the underdogs. And I don't know if the odds have changed, but going into the fight, Puello was still the underdog. He was only plus 100,
So
but he was still the underdog.
what do you think about this? Subriel versus Southpaw fighters. He's 8-1 with 8 knockouts.
Está bien. I'm not worried about that.
That's a pretty good statistic, though. But he's
But he's 8-1, but he got a loss though. You get what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
Right, he got a loss, and we can arguably say the same thing about Puello
Nah.
with Sandra Martin. Arguably,
Against who? Against who?
arguably against Sandra
Nah, but
Martin.
okay,
Puello against Sandra
but here's
Martin.
another thing because, like I said, I'm not here to listen. Puello won that fight. It was a close fight, but El Varón de Ustedes, listen, one of your own guys, Cesar Seda, he put it on his channel.
He's a
Hold on. He put it on his channel. He put the picture out there.
Pictures and all that. Yeah.
Hold on. Puello had una lesión in the first round. He freaking tore a tendon on his leg. That's why he wasn't moving. If you notice the way Puello moves, the way he boxes, he wasn't moving because he tore a ligament in his leg in the first round. And with that torn ligament, he still went to 12 rounds.
And if you want the picture of it, it was really bad. It was bad. It was bad.
So the same thing happened with Ergashev. A él se le fue la señal a la pierna cuando Subriel le metió.
No.
Okay. Aquí está. We got it. We cook it with oil now. You guys, I don't know. You might be right. I don't know. Let's take a look at this. Let's take a look.
Mira, otro Cesar Seda.
Ponlo.
No, we gotta put it up. Hold up. We got.
Put it up, papi.
The best that happened to him was
that
account. The best that happened to him was this. What was this?
Let me see. What's this one? This is our best of Subriel 2012. Yeah, this is it right here. Okay, boom. I gotta rewind it a second. But I got it. We got it. Here it is. Bing, bing.
Put it
Hold on.
up. Put it up.
Okay, okay, it's going up right here. Okay. Wait, I gotta just back it up a little. I had to make sure it was there.
Keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. No, no, no. A
Yep.
little bit more.
Okay,
I,
right there.
I.
Okay, let's go. He hurts him against the rope. Boom. Look, look,
Wait,
look.
Él no se
I
iba a
don't know,
caer.
guys. I don't know. I
Él no se
don't
iba a
know.
caer.
Verdugo,
I
pero.
don't know. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait. That could have he could have still stood on his feet. He
Oh
was
my
he
God.
he was hurt. Espérate, come on, bro.
He
He
was
was hurt,
hurt.
but
He was hurt.
his
I got.
eyes were still
I
in the
give you
game.
that.
He was hurt, yes.
Pero no iba,
I
no iba a
don't think
tocar
he was
lona.
gonna.
Aunque las cuerdas no estuvieran ahí, no iba a tocar
I
lona.
don't know. Look, boom, look, boom, boom.
Poof.
No,
bro,
no. He was already getting his feet.
No.
He was
bro.
already getting his feet. No,
Oh
see,
my
He
look
had
God.
he
ahead. If he was gonna fall, he was gonna fall
bro.
right here,
He
right
had some
here,
stinky
right,
legs, bro.
right there.
Hey,
Mira,
Xavier's got a good
he
point.
had stanky legs.
Puello's not looking good, not looking great when his last three were by majority.
Wait a minute. If we're
What,
gonna
what's
show,
that got to? Pero okay, what's that got to do with anything? Puello
Oof.
gana su
What's
decisión
going
clara.
down?
right?
What that's got to do is that he had those fights he didn't win
What do you
convincingly.
mean?
Who didn't win convincingly?
Who didn't win convincing?
Puello
Against who?
Oof.
or against Martin was a majority decision or a split
Okay.
decision. No, majority decision, and then against Russell was a split
Okay,
All
so
right.
decision.
you're honestly, hold on, because ahorita tú
Yep.
dijiste, or hold on one second, hold on,
Yep.
ahorita tú dijiste que para ti él le ganó 11 rounds. Now, in my personal opinion,
Para mí,
ajá,
para mí él
okay,
le ganó a Russell
Claro.
claramente. Para
okay,
mí,
yo, en mi opinion, I saw Puello won at least 9 rounds in that fight.
In which
I saw
fight?
him win in the Gary Antoine Russell.
Okay.
I thought he won at least 9 rounds.
Because Frontline's talking about the Subriel Martin. Sandal Martin fight.
No,
Sandor
Sandor
Martin.
Martin versus Puello, that was a close fight. That I agree.
That's
I'm
what
not
he's
arguing that
talking
one.
about.
Yeah,
That's what he's talking about.
but I thought he said the
Frontline.
last 3 fights.
No, I was reading what the Xavier said in the
Oh,
chat.
okay. Because I thought you said the last 3 fights.
So
Because
No, Xavier said Puello's not looking great when he went by majority decision his last three fights. Matias will body bag
right,
Puello by the
right.
eighth
So
round.
he said the last 3 fights. That's what I'm responding to. Because if
Right.
you're telling
Oh,
me, if
okay.
you're telling not you personally, but whoever
yeah,
made the comment, if you're telling me that you thought that Gary Anton versus Puello was a close fight, you don't know what you're watching. Because that wasn't. Listen, going into
yep,
that fight, let's remember, going into that fight, Gary Antoine is the A side. He's a PBC favorite. Ellos lo pusieron con Puello.
Right.
Oh yeah, let's get him a belt. Let's line him up to get a belt, and it didn't go that way. Now
right.
that fight was so convincingly won by Puello that they couldn't even rob him. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It
Right.
was a one sided boxing lesson. So
I agree.
Yep.
But pero against Martin, let me tell you, Bobby, I saw that fight. And the same thing with Akhmedov. Akhmedov and Martin, I saw both fights. Again, very close fight, but I saw Martin and Akhmedov winning. That's just
no,
me, though. I'm a
and like I
nobody.
said,
I'm just a
you could.
fan.
I respect that. I respect your opinion. I'm not. I thought both fights were close. You know what I'm saying? I think Akhmedov did a great job with the pressure. I think he did a great job smothering Puello's work, but Puello still had the cleaner shots. If you watch the fight closely, not even closely, if you watch the fight when they were when Akhmedov was all over him, Puello was sneaking in those uppercuts. He got really sneaky uppercuts, and he was hitting them with a lot of clean shit. A lot of Akhmedov's work was, it was hitting the shoulders, the gloves, the body. So his work wasn't as clean. I think that's the reason why Puello got the decision. Now again, going back to the Matias fight, you know, if you fucking tear a ligament in the first round and you can't use your legs, yeah, it's gonna be a fucking close fight. And listen, and Martin is a very good fighter. Martin is a very tricky fighter. In my opinion, he beat Teofimo Lopez. In my opinion, because
It was
there was
close.
a knockdown or two that they didn't count, and
Yep.
he had the cleaner work in that fight. So
We're, we're not even going to talk about Teal. Teal's got a lot of losses that weren't counted on his
Well,
fucking
well, well,
record.
well, well. I gotta give you guys some pushback on that, okay? Because although I don't like Teal that much, I gotta speak boxing. And this is boxing. This is Sandor Martin. What I realize what he is, he's not a closer. He doesn't know how to close the show. He let that fight from Tio slip right out of his fingers, and he sure did let the Alberto Puello fight slip out of his fingers too. He fought strong in the first half, and in the middle part, he just couldn't close the show. He's a good fighter, Sandor Martin. He just can't finish.
Yeah, he's not a closer. That I agree.
He's not a closer.
But if you,
I agree with that.
like I said, listen, and Teofimo's a very good fighter. I think Teofimo. The thing is, Teofimo's not consistent. He'll have a freaking fight that he'll come in and he's
You're
like,
right.
and then he'll come in some other fights and you're like, dude, what the fuck?
Yeah.
You know where Teofimo was an animal? At 35. Theo was a fucking animal at 35. Once he moved up, that's it. Se le acabó
All
el
right,
guiso.
gentlemen. Look, I can't put up Subriel without putting
Round
up
one.
Alberto
One
Puello.
question, please.
Yes.
After watching the Subriel video against Jan, would you agree that he could have been KO if not had the 8 count?
Do I believe that he got knocked down in that fight?
No. Would you agree that if hadn't happened the 8 count,
Yep.
Subriel could have been KO? Would you agree?
No.
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 I think you're gonna need
No.
more than that to drop him.
No.
Si las cuerdas no hubiesen estado ahí,
Yeah.
Subriel no
No,
toca la
lo
lona. He
que
would
él está
not.
diciendo, lo que él está diciendo es, si el referee no le
No, he
ayuda.
wants to know if you agree that that was
No. Lo
knocked
que él
out.
está diciendo es,
If he wasn't given the 8 count.
if he wasn't given the 8 count and they had let Pedro Anaya attack Subriel when he was on those ropes, would
He would
he
have
have
been KO
dropped?
for sure.
Would he have dropped? And I'm
I think he would have got
50-50 on
dropped.
that.
No.
I think he
I'm
would have at
50-50
least
on
got
that.
dropped.
No.
Bro, he
I
was
think
done. He was
got
done.
dropped.
I
He
don't
was
know.
absolutely done.
I don't know.
He was
I don't know.
out.
I can't agree to that.
When you have when your legs
Hey.
when you're out on your legs like that, right?
Yeah.
When you're out on your legs like that, it doesn't take a lot to get dropped. Like I think the best thing that happened to him in that situation, I agree with Antonio. The best thing to happen to him
Yeah.
with that
That's
8
the
count.
best that happened to him.
Because if he didn't get that 8 count, right? If you don't get that 10, 12 seconds to recover,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? If you don't get that little time to recover, yo, that guy was gonna hit you for that time. You get what I'm
Bro,
saying?
The best thing I
Subriel
can say
was
to
really
that,
done. He was
the
done.
best thing I could say to that is I agree to disagree. I didn't see it happen, so I can't say that it necessarily would have happened to him.
And we none of us could say
I
that
can't
it
say
would have
that
been a
for
knockdown
for
because
sure.
it
No,
didn't happen.
No. Okay, gentlemen. Vamos a hablar claro, not in fantasy. How many times have we seen a guy hurt, go back in a rope, and the guy come in and get caught with a big shot and he get dropped?
No, we seen it. Yeah,
Perfect
Yeah,
example.
but Subriel was
Huh?
in that condition to do so.
yeah, we've
He
seen
was
it
in
a
that
lot.
condition to do so.
We've seen it a lot.
It was
I
out.
agree.
It was
I
out.
saw Lee. I saw Lee, the Irishman, getting his ass whooped by fucking Jackson there, right? And he
Yo, look at Dubois versus Joshua.
Same
Same
shit.
shit.
No, not the same. Not the same. Because Subriel was out.
but
No.
but with Lee and Jackson, when Lee, that Irish dude, knocked out
Yeah,
Jackson,
I know
he
that.
was
I know what you're
chasing
talking
him.
about. I know what you're talking about.
Yes, I seen that happen, and he was hurt. He was grabbing his stomach.
Yeah, he was there, but he was in good condition still. Not like
Yeah.
Subriel who was out. He was
Ah,
gassed. He
Oh
was
yeah.
gassed and out of,
What Edwin
Subriel got good
what Edwin and
recuperating
I did
powers. He
yesterday.
got good recuperating
What
powers.
Edwin and I did yesterday on a group chat. It was Naldo was in there and Bang Bang. We looked up Puello's
Yeah.
record to see how many same opponents that Matias had with Puello. We found
common
4.
opponents.
Yep. Common opponents.
We found common
Right.
opponents. And out of those 4 fights, Subriel finished the opponent quicker than Puello did. Obviously, they were in Dominican Republic, but nonetheless, the same
Right.
fighter,
But okay, but
same weight
guys,
class.
we know Matias is a bigger puncher. That's not in dispute. We
Yeah.
know
Yeah.
Matias is a bigger puncher. Like that's not up for debate. We know Matias is the bigger puncher. Now, I'm not gonna,
Yeah.
that's not something I'm gonna argue. Now, when we talk about boxing
Okay.
abilities, if we talk about boxing abilities, I think Puello has better boxing abilities. I think Puello, when he lands his shots, they look cleaner. I think Puello has better legs. Um, so that's what I'm talking about.
Right.
Adi,
Let's take
Adi.
a look
The
at
only
Puello right here. Gentlemen,
And also Puello has shown good assimilation too, because Puello
Let,
has been
let's
hit
take a
hard.
look at Puello's selection of punches young Puello in his career. I know that this guy is not the greatest opponent against him, but neither was Puello at this moment. Understand this, guys. Don't view Puello as the talent that he is today when you watch him here. He's just as equal as the guy in the ring with him. So when you guys are calling these guys tomato cans and all this other shit, I don't get that shit. Because at the end of that guy's title, his what he does for a profession, it says professional boxer. So stop bringing these guys' competition down. These guys, Alberto Puello, yeah, he beat a lot of guys in Santo Domingo, but they're still professional boxers. And as long as you're beating a guy with a winning record, that means you've beat a fighter with a winning record. So I don't want to hear that Puello's guys were tomato cans. His guys were professional boxers, just like Subriel's. All right?
Look,
And I
we
want to
we
see his style right now, Puello's style. And I want to see what makes him so dangerous. So let's just take a look at it before I get into the right topic that I want to talk about. Edwin, what did you mean that Subriel Matias was tougher? We're going to get into that conversation in a second. We're going to look at this right here. Let's see Alberto Puello. Let's see how he gets down. You can notice right away his jab. Wow. Damn.
So my thing with
Wait. Give me a second. What do you notice when you see Alberto Puello throw punches? His accuracy.
his hands are
No, he's
down
accurate.
and his
Yeah, I
hands
see
are
his hands
down.
down, but his hands are down for a reason. He knows that this guy, he got him hurt.
Yeah, yeah.
But every
Right.
punch Alberto Puello just landed right there, fucking landed. Look.
his
Look
his
how
his
efficient
work
Now,
he
is very
is.
clean. His work is very
Look,
clean.
look at that body shot to the stomach. Look at this shit. Yo,
And
he's
that's
sharp.
exactly and
Oh
listen, and
my
that's
God.
exactly what he did to Gary Antoine. Gary Antoine tried to
Not,
overcommit. He
yep.
got hit with that fucking liver shot.
okay,
Look at
now
this.
when you watch that Gary Antoine
Look at the
Russell
pressure.
fight,
Look at the pressure.
right?
Look at the pressure he
Ev-
puts on the guy. Look at the pressure. Look at
Yeah, but
uh-huh.
Edwin, that's his fight right there. Puello's fight is outside or mid
Well, that we
range.
know that.
Mid to long range.
Just like we
Mid to
know
long
that
range.
Subriel's power. That's things we know.
Right.
You know what
It's
I'm
when
saying?
he likes to get on
Now,
your chest.
what's gonna what's gonna happen when you can't utilize your ability, meaning your long range or mid range?
I don't.
What are you
That's up
gonna
to Subriel to
do
take
when
away.
Subriel is in your face for 12
That's what we
Listen,
got to
fucking
one
see.
thing.
rounds?
Listen,
That's what we got to
one thing
see.
I have to say. One thing I will say is, look,
Yep.
if Puello's conditioning is not peak, it's not like fucking. If he's not 100%, if he's not 100% healthy, or he's not in peak,
Yep.
Condition.
conditioning,
Yeah, big
Right.
condition. Yeah.
then he'll have problems. Then he'll have some major problems. But I
Papi,
think
Not only that,
if
not
you
he's
only
know
that, I
what?
done, if
believe he
he's
has the business against Subriel if he's
look,
ready
if
100%.
he has, but one thing I would say, if Puello's 100% healthy, because let's remember he did have that injury versus Matias versus Martin,
Very smart
right?
in here.
So if he's 100%
Hmm.
healthy, and and I know his condition is going to be on point. I know his condition will be on point because, like I said, Team Salas, they do a great job. They have that other guy, that former boxer, who's doing their strength and conditioning.
El cabrón Tomás
Dolorme,
Ajá.
Delorme,
Dolorme,
otro huele bicho,
Dolorme.
otro huele bicho.
Pero está bien, but he's
Está
doing
bien.
he's doing the conditioning. He's had those guys
Yeah.
in peak shape.
No, he is.
You
He
know what I'm
is.
saying? Another thing, when a lot of people used to say, "Oh, Carlos Adames runs out of gas, he gets tired." I'm sure you
Nah.
guys saw that shit recently.
He beat Shiraz. He beat
And he looked
Shiraz.
great. That's what I'm saying. So I have faith in those guys when it comes to conditioning, the training, and like I said, Salas, como usted dice, un cabrón, that motherfucker, he comes up with the right game plans and he gets upset wins. If you
No,
notice,
he does. He's a good trainer. He's a very good trainer. Thomas Delorme, as much shit as he's talking, he's a good conditioning
he
coach.
is.
He is. You got to give it. One thing here at round one, Edwin knows we'll talk shit, but we give credit when
No,
credit's due.
you
You
guys
know what
know
I'm
I'm gonna
saying?
give both
Look,
sides.
and I'm glad that this Dominican versus Puerto Rico thing is happening. And the reason why, look, I'm Dominican. I'm a huge supporter of Dominican boxing.
Hmm.
But I wish that my people, I wish my Dominicans supported Dominican boxing like the Puerto Ricans support Puerto Rican boxing. You know
Yes,
what
sir.
I'm saying?
Well, you guys got Broadway
No,
Joel.
no,
I
no, no,
know,
no,
but
no, no,
Yeah,
no.
but we
He's
just
right.
started,
He's
brother.
right. Speak
no,
your
no,
truth,
no. But I'm
brother.
talking about
Speak your
no. But I'm
truth.
talking about no. But Broadway. Listen, Broadway's doing great things. I
Yeah.
have a lot of
And you got Punch
I have a
Drunk.
All
lot
right.
of I have a lot of love and respect for Broadway. I'm
Mm-hmm.
very supportive of what he does. But what I'm talking about is not just him. I'm talking about
The
our
movement.
community. You
The
know what I'm saying?
community.
Yeah.
The
Listen,
community. I
Right.
got you.
I go to fights at the Hulu Theater. I go to fights at the Garden. I go to fight um at Barclays. I've been down to Atlantic City. Yo, the
Mm-hmm.
Puerto Ricans come out. They come
Yeah.
out and support their guys. So that's what I'm saying. Like if Dominican fan base did the same,
Mm-hmm.
I would love to see it. And I think this little
Adi,
rivalry is not even. I listen
You
Adi,
historically.
you know what,
but
Adi? I
remember,
think
the Puerto Rican side, it has to do also with the tradition they had, the
No, no,
history
no.
they
But that's
had.
what I'm saying.
It's been building
That's
up
what I
for
was getting.
years
That's what I
ago.
was getting
Now we're
into.
starting.
That's what I was getting into. Historically, we can't. You know, we can't compete historically wise with Puerto Rico, right? Puerto Rico has a richer boxing history. They've had greater champions. They've had, you know, a greater history of producing pay-per-view caliber great champions. You know, so we can't dispute that against you guys. But right now, I know you guys are saying
it's your
right now
moment. You're
we have
right.
a lot of talent. We have a
A
lot of
lot.
talent right now.
A lot. A lot.
Adi,
And you
let me
want to
add
know
up
something?
something about it, please.
Huh?
Let me add something about what Adi said, please.
Okay, go ahead.
Adi, not only that, but every Dominican people or fan of boxing of the Caribbean that really follows boxing knows that in the Dominican Republic, it's been only about a decade and a half, or maybe 15 years or 17 years, that we've been really investing seriously in boxing. Before that, we were investing. For example, we didn't have good trainers back then.
Right.
It's been only like less than 20 years that we brought trainers from Cuba, most of them from Cuba.
And Puerto
Some
Rico.
Puerto Ricans, yeah, some Puerto Ricans,
And
but
it's
most of
probably
them from
less
Cuba.
time. I don't even think it's 20 years though. It's probably been 10. I don't know
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
probably
yeah, yeah.
been
maybe
less.
10.
I know,
Yeah.
but let's say 15 years.
Yep.
So
About
look
that.
how far we have gone. Only
Yep.
15 years
Yep.
by investing really in boxing, privately and also from the government. And look
Mm-hmm.
how we are now.
Mm-hmm.
So we're good, brother. We just were investing as much as we're doing right now.
Right.
Dominica's right.
Bobby, right now, you guys got a young prospect that's very promising,
A
John
whole bunch.
Santana.
Yeah,
He trains with Emiliano Lozano out
he
of Puerto
trains out of
Rico.
Puerto Rico. Yeah.
You guys got
Rohan Polanco. That's
Rohan
my guy.
Polanco.
That's my
You guys
Henry
got
Cedeño,
Yuri
love
and
Henry
Rohan
Henry
Cedeño, Edwin
Polanco.
de los
Cedeño.
Santos.
You got Edwin de los Santos. You got Michel
Los Serreño
Rivera.
brothers. La Bazooka.
We said Yuri and
Yuri and
Yeah,
Henry.
yeah,
Henry.
We
yeah,
said
yeah,
that.
yeah.
You got De Los Santos. You guys got you got Elvis
Yep.
Rodriguez,
I'm
although he lost his
también
last
no,
fight,
he's
but you
still
still
He
can't take
yeah.
arguably
that
lost.
away
He
from him.
arguably
He's a good
lost,
fight,
but it was a close fight.
It was a close fight, yeah.
but he's a good fighter. I mean, you guys have a lot of up and you got Mini
Ali
Pacman,
Rivera,
you got
Michelle
Michel Rivera,
Rivera,
you got Mini
Mini
Adames,
Pacman,
who's
Pacman,
the champion.
Jose Adames, of
Adame, but
course.
Adame,
Yep.
but
Damn.
you guys got a lot of good talent. We're not knocking DR,
Nah.
but Bobby, we this is friendly
Oh, of course,
fire.
of course,
This
of course.
is
Nah.
This is where we say that in my opinion, you got your opinion, we got ours. In my opinion, here's my prediction, and it's not subject to
Nah.
change. I got Subriel by no mas
Ooh,
by the 10th
ooh,
round.
good.
Okay,
Yo,
but now moving from the topic, because I want to change the topic because
yeah.
I had a beef with round one on the comments and I read that he bought
Yes.
a life he
Yeah.
had
Yes.
about a week ago,
Yep.
and you say that you kind of say like we Dominicans can't talk with often or can argue with Puerto Ricans about boxing because we don't have history, we don't have those great champions of the history, and it's true, it is true. I don't dispute that, but what I'm saying is that's in the past. Now in the present.
Yep.
So the fact that we have that we don't have those champions doesn't mean that we can argue with you about boxing. That doesn't mean that we
Right.
can
Right.
No,
Right.
talk
Right.
to you
no,
Wait,
that
wait,
doesn't
wait.
mean
Bobby.
Frontline, frontline,
please. That
frontline.
doesn't mean
Deja
that we
que él
can
hable.
brag. That
Dale.
Deja que
doesn't
él
mean
hable.
that we can brag about our present, the good fighters that we have now, and the brighter future that we have for now, as for right now, when it comes to Puerto Rico, because we have now better prospects, better contenders, and better champions. As my opinion, that's my opinion. Eh?
Okay. Wait.
Uh,
Frontline, frontline. Let me. Okay. One thing is for sure. I'm trying to sell this fight. And I want my Puerto Rican people to come out and support Dominicans, and I want Dominicans to come out and support us. When you used to go to a Dominican fighter and the people who were in the crowd, who was there? A lot of Puerto Ricans were there, weren't they? Because even though we see you guys fight, we still apoyarte and we cheer for you if you're not competing against us. Why? Because you're our
Thank you.
neighboring cousins, right? So when I said that Dominicans and this was going to come be a battle of toughness, meaning you're right. But Dominican fighters haven't been evolving if they just kicked up the last 15 years. How can I put that last 15 years of great competitive fighting to decades of generation of toughness? So I said, I don't think Subriel is going to outpunch Alberto Puello. I really don't see that. And the only thing that I think is going to happen, he's going to have to weather a storm. And you know what I call that? Being tough. Subriel's going to have to be tough, and he's going to have to be tougher than him. If it's true in actuality, o se te picó, that means that this is getting good, right? And it's getting interesting because it's our guys out there. Not no Mexicano, not no Russian, not no Japón. These are our guys. And this is our time because don't you see boxing has been struggling? The Americans took their shot.
Yeah.
They took the Devin Haney, una mierda. All these guys went.
Hey, watch your mouth. Those checks will stop coming in.
Cállate. Yo, I gotta call it like it is. The Americans, they took their shot, bro. They did nothing. You know what the Americans did? They let that Japanese dude, Naoya Inoue, one of my favorite fighters, steal the fucking weekend. And because he's a monster. And everything went that way. Well, guess what, damn it? We're here too. We're here too. The Dominicans and the Puerto Rican, we're here too. And we want to stake our claim. We want to prove to them that we're warriors. That when you come out to see our fight, that you see the reason why Dominican fighters haven't gone up because they're not convinced. They've seen this before in the past where there was a surge of Dominican boxing that came up and you saw them all talking, getting happy, and they didn't really turn out that well. But this time, you guys are trying to like will the fight. Well, no, win or a loss, I guarantee it. I guarantee it. If both of those men go out there and turn that into a classic fight, both their stocks will go up.
For
And we
sure.
can
For
go
sure.
together. There
For
is
sure.
another rematch in this fight too because Alberto put
Yeah.
it in the claw. But
Yeah.
listen, guys, when I go out to support Dominican fighters. I've been to Dominican fights. I've paid my money and my ticket because this is what I want. I want a rivalry. Let me tell you
Yeah.
something right
Yeah.
now. Let me tell you something right now. I'm a New York Yankee fan, right? Where would I be without the Red Sox? I need
Yeah.
them.
Yeah.
I respect my rival because they make it exciting. But a lot of people are not like me. I'm smart enough to know to leave my rival just in the shit talking. We can go have a beer afterwards. It's nothing ever personal.
Absolutely.
You know
Ever.
what, Ryan? You know what? I believe even we Dominicans don't have that big history when it comes to boxing. Even though that I believe Puerto Ricans will be more invested in the rivalry between the Dominican Republic and Puerto Rico than with Mexico. Because
Yeah.
even though we love each other, because we love Puerto Rican people, and I know
Yeah.
Puerto Rican people love Dominican people too. I know that for a fact. But even though that happening, we love each other and we're cousins, but we have a rivalry that is respectful, but we have a rivalry
No,
Yeah.
between
but
our
this is
countries
like I said.
that
This
is
is I.
that is way beyond boxing. It's a rivalry that
Yep.
is way beyond boxing. So we want to see that those two countries competing each other, and for sure will be more invested in a rivalry between Puerto Rico and Dominican than with Mexico, for example.
No, and I
Hey, I
think
got to address something in the
like I
chat real
said,
quick.
I think this is good for Dominican boxing.
Yeah.
I think having having competitive fights and fights versus Puerto Ricans and building up a rivalry in boxing. I think this is great for Dominican boxing because it's going to get more eyes on Dominican fighters. I think the Puerto Ricans will support Dominican fighters too. Like let's say
Yeah,
we fight your guys and let's say we beat your guys, or even if we don't beat your guys and we have really good fucking fights with them, that's more eyeballs on Dominican boxing, which, like I said, I think this is a good thing for Dominican boxing, especially since we're trying to grow it. We're trying to get, we're trying to get our fan base to support just like the way the Puerto Ricans do. That's my goal. That's what I want.
Facts.
That's what I will hope.
yeah.
Right.
I remember.
Right.
I remember
Hey,
me
so
being young and watching with my father the fight between Trinidad and De La Hoya, And I remember me
Ah,
being so happy when Trinidad won. I was so happy. You know,
right.
I always supported Puerto Ricans. You know, I
Yeah.
want to Puerto Rico to thrive and to be successful.
Yeah.
The same way I know you want us to be successful because it benefits us at the end of the day.
Exactly.
Yo,
Go
so I
ahead.
want to address something. Eliezer wants to know that why are we putting a blind eye to Puello's pet users, right? It looks like
I can address
Sabiel.
it. I can
I,
address
I
that
don't. I
also.
don't. I
No,
don't
no,
even want any of you guys to address it. Let me tell you guys something right now about that. The man did what he did, whatever way he paid his penalty, he's back. Every fight after
that's
that,
it's over
every
with.
fight after that, he passed. Clean
Exactly,
urine test. All right? And when we go into
exactly,
this fight, they're
exactly.
gonna give him a blood work and urine. And as long as he passes and
Yeah.
he fights us on an even playing field, there's nothing else to discuss. Listen, let me tell you something right now, guys. Yeah, he got busted for PEs, all right? But how many times do you got to get arrested for something and then get out and keep getting penalized over the same crime you've already did your time for? You know what I'm saying?
Yep. That's why I said I wanted to address it because we're like the
Nah,
past is the
Alberto
past. That's
Puello,
done and
he's
over
a
with.
clean fighter. Okay, don't try to disrespect the Dominican fighters, bro.
And the
Don't
same
do it.
thing with the
Nah,
raps. They're gonna bring up the
nah,
raps
nah.
next.
Don't
That's
don't
the
do it.
past. We don't
Nah,
talk about the
nah.
past here.
They're gonna fight on it. Trust me when I tell you. That's why boxing's evolving, guys. We're getting tighter on these situations. You know what I'm saying? You bring up his PE use, and then all of a sudden we're gonna bring up Ryan Garcia's and fucking Canelo's, and no, we're not doing that shit. We're not doing it. As long as he passes and he doesn't end up like Jaime Munguia, that after he fought Bruno, he tested positive. Now we could talk about
Right.
that because brother, you got busted. But as long as we're competing, I that's why I don't bring it up on my channel. That's why you don't hear me saying, "Oh, Alberto Puello did PE." Blah blah. You don't hear that shit.
No, no,
That's
you're
Never.
And
right.
done.
like I
That's
You're
said,
you're
over
right.
and
with.
I'm someone that I'm someone that I could address it if you want me to address it.
He was
Um,
having a baby.
If you want to,
Him and
go
his
ahead,
wife,
but you
him
don't
and his
have
wife were
to.
having a baby. They were trying. They gave him some pills, whatever. Blah blah blah. I get all the
not even that. He had a procedure done. It wasn't just like, oh, here's some pills.
Surgery,
You
yeah.
know what I'm saying? He had
right.
a procedure. He had a medical procedure done, and after the medical procedure, this was part of his medication that he took. Now,
Yes.
once he had, his wife got pregnant, right? He stopped taking the pills. Unfortunately for him and his team, they didn't inform
Right.
the VADA that that he was taking this, because he even said like, yo, this shit. He stopped taking it for like a month, and that shit was still in his system. These
Yeah,
things,
yeah,
some of these
Wow.
yeah,
things
Wow.
stay in your
Yeah.
system for a long
yeah.
time.
They
Now,
give my daughter a steroid for her asthma.
right? So
You know.
so so
Yeah.
yeah. So for example, these things, they stay in your system for a long time. Now, you can't say Puello is a cheater because, okay, he got popped, but he didn't fight. Remember, his fight was canceled, and that's the only
Mm,
reason why Rolly got his hands on a belt. You know what I'm saying?
right.
The fight was canceled, so
Hmm.
Puello never fought dirty. He came back clean. He fought clean. He fought Gary Antoine. He beat him clean. He
Good
fought.
point.
He fought Martin. Clean. Got his belt, and now he's fighting Matias. So he's a
Adi,
clean fighter. He
Yeah.
was in an
Adi, but
unfortunate situation.
there is also a very important point that nobody addresses, and is that when he started consuming the medicine, I don't know how to say it.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah, consuming the
consuming. You said it
medicine.
right.
He didn't fight any fight addressed. So
Right.
Exactly. So
he
Papi,
didn't know he was
that's
gonna fight a Rolly at the time. Even so, he was on
yeah,
schedule.
but that's why here we don't bring that shit up because
No,
it's the
and but
past.
it has no
You
value. It's not like I said, Jaime
exactly.
Munguia fought Bruno, but after the fight he tested positive. Now, if he would have fought some guy tested positive after the fight, now he went into a competitive
The
matchup
fight against
dirty.
Rolly, the fight against Rolly was scheduled after after he started
Right.
consuming the medicament, the medicine, whatever it
Ajá.
was.
Pero Alberto
Yeah.
Puello nunca pisó la lona in the ring in a competitive match against a person while positive.
correct.
You understand?
Yeah.
So what does that got to do? Yeah, he
I
got
don't know.
tested
And look,
positive,
and these are the
but he
same
didn't
people.
hurt
Look,
anybody.
honestly, these are
He's
the
not
same
Ryan
people.
Garcia,
Look, these are the same people that give Ryan Garcia a pass, right?
right?
They give Munguia. And Munguia's situation was even worse. And the reason why I say it's even worse, because Munguia was coming off getting knocked the fuck out by this guy. Let's remember that.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
This was a rematch. So Munguia gets knocked out by this guy, has a rematch with him, beats him, and then pops dirty. That's even worse, you know.
Yep.
And
Yep.
coming out of a camp, like I said, that camp has had numerous positives, you know,
Six
right?
fighters have
So
tested
so
positive.
something funny is going on there. But you know what? These same fans will give certain fighters a pass and not others.
Yep. Yep.
But no. But listen, man,
Fun
I'm
night.
excited. I'm excited about this fight, man. I'm telling you, this Matias versus Puello fight, I think it's
Oh,
gonna be a fucking tremendous fight. Because
oh my
another thing is,
God.
listen, Matias is, like I said, I see him as like a fucking Terminator, like Round One was saying. When he gets hit, he just keeps on coming.
Yeah.
So I think it's gonna be interesting, man. I think Puello has great boxing abilities. I think Puello's really gonna have to be in peak conditioning. What I
100%.
do like is that when Puello is a fighter that he punches with you as well. And I like I said, I know he's got to be careful with Matias, but Matias got to be careful with them sneaky liver shots. I'm telling you, because
Yo, it's the
Puello
punches
throws
you don't see.
his liver
Yo,
shots
and
are very fucking accurate,
Oh my God, it's
and
the
he
punches
throws
you
them when you're
don't see.
and
punching.
Yeah. Yeah.
and back to what you guys said about that y'all want Dominican community to support y'all fighters. Let me tell you something. Come July 12th, trust and believe, DR and PR are
Oh,
going to
we
be in the
gonna be in the
building.
building for
Trust,
both of us. Yo,
trust. Dominicans are going to come out and support
I hope
Puello
so. I hope
100%.
so. I hope so.
And the Puerto Ricans are, I mean, look at the community right now, how crazy they're
Man, I
going. You know
hope
what I'm
so.
Yeah.
saying?
I hope we pop it.
So the Dominicans are going to show up for Puello 100%. And you got to understand, it's in New York City. That the majority of the population is Dominicans
Yeah,
and
but
Puerto
they just gotta
Ricans.
come out. They gotta come out. We know that they're there,
They
and
will.
they gotta
They
come out.
will.
No,
They
but
will.
you know what I think. But you know what it is, to be fair. I think that these promoters, and listen, in Top Rank, I got to give credit to Top Rank because they just started doing it. They just started doing it because they just got a good crop of Dominican fighters under their stable. They just
Yeah.
started doing it with Rohan Polanco. They recently put a video out that have all the their top five Dominican guys on there.
Y- Yeah.
They
I
had
saw it. I saw it.
Alice, the heavyweight. They had John Santana. They had Eury Cedeño. They had Elvis, and they had Rohan Polanco on there.
I'm Polanco. Yeah.
They're just finally starting to promote to the Dominican fan base. I think that, listen, the Puerto Ricans, they're gonna come out. The Puerto Ricans come out already. Like the New York Puerto Ricans, they're gonna come out regardless. If Puerto Ricans fighting, the Puerto Ricans are gonna come out. For the
See that?
Dominicans, I feel like
See
a
this
lot of
comment?
times the
You see this comment
promoters
right here?
are not.
That's the problem. That's the problem right there. That if they don't pay
And that's fine.
attention to it,
And like I said, that's fine because listen, when Dominican and Puerto Rico play baseball, we fucking know that's a rivalry. Let's keep it
oh yeah,
100.
yeah,
You know
that's
what I'm
a
saying?
that's,
When,
In baseball,
yeah, right,
yes.
but what I'm saying is when they play baseball, wherever they play, whether they play Miami, they play New York, wherever they play, the shit is lit, right? Because
Yeah.
it's a
Absolutely.
rivalry.
oh
Now,
yeah,
even if they play basketball, let's say they play a friendly
oh
freaking
yeah,
basketball game, it's gonna be turned up because of the rivalry.
yep,
Now, yes,
We party
this is
crowd.
this but this is what I was saying earlier. I completely understand that historically Puerto Rico has a richer
hmm
history of boxing. Me as a Dominican, I'm not gonna be like, oh, we competed. No, because historically we're not competing with you guys because
right.
you guys have you guys have greater champions.
Not even
You
close.
right? We're not even close. We're not even up to that level yet. But right now, like I said, I'm just happy that
hmm
you guys, you Puerto Ricans, you guys that have a Puerto Rican platform, I'm glad that you guys are seeing
Paying
this fight
attention to us. Yeah.
Right,
as a rivalry because it helps Dominican boxing. Like I
right.
said, it does help us. So
Yeah. And I believe in it. And I believe in it. And I believe that there's enough on the plate for all of us to get ours. And I hope that we can all go out to New York and enjoy this and probably go out as brothers and get something to drink or eat and not fight each other and show the world that we can come together and apoyar both our fighters with no situations. Let's not act like animals or let this rivalry get to our heads and get much more that sometimes, we can buy into this too much. What I'm trying to do is promote Latin fighters, and I love the
Yeah.
the fight that's happening right now. And if rivalry is what the word I gotta put onto it to sell it, well then damn it, I'll do it. Okay, we know the history, but we have to draw a line in the sand, and this is where we draw the line in the sand. This is our era. We're living in it, ain't we?
You know
We're
what?
not
You know
living
what?
in the past. We're not living in the past, right, guys? No. So this is where we're at. This is where we're at, and this is what it is. So I see a lot of potential in Puerto Rican fighters as I see in Dominican fighters. I have a lot of good Puerto Rican fighters coming up the ladder. We got Keith Cologne. We got Juanita
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 Lopez.
Lopez.
Guamita.
Yeah,
Guamita.
We got
yeah.
William
So we
Colon.
got
We
a we
got
got a little wave
William
too. So let's
Ortiz.
keep this going, guys. Let's keep this going, and let's prove.
Hey guys, let me ask you, since you're talking about rivalry, what do you guys think about a potential fight between Mini Pac-Man and Oscar
That's
Collazo
Collazo?
should be favorite. Collazo.
Listen.
Huh?
Collazo should be
I'm the type of
favorite.
fighter. I'm the type of fan. I'm
yeah,
not a fighter. I'm the type of fan that I don't say no to these fights. A lot of boxing fans, when their guys, you know, they want to protect their fighters, or they want to say, "Oh no, I want to see these fights. Let's see it. Let's
yeah,
see the fight. I'm down to watch it.
right,
I'll support it." You get what I'm saying? Regardless if our guy wins
right.
or loses. But I know Collazo is very
Ari,
talented. I know
you know,
Mini Pac is talented too.
Mhm.
Let's watch it. Let's
Ari,
see it.
you
And
know,
listen, and this
you
is
know
one
what's the best
thing,
part of
right?
it? You
I
know what's
would
the
love
best
to
part of
see.
it?
Imagine,
Because in the future, in a few years, Dominicans and Puerto Ricans will be able to make good money fighting each other, not only
Yes,
fighting Mexicans or Black
yeah.
Americans, and that's good for for the sport. That's good for
Listen.
us.
Imagine this. Imagine this. Imagine this. Imagine Madison Square Garden, right? Let's say Madison Square Garden. You got you could get Colazo versus Mini Pac-Man, right? You can get, let's put Eury Cedeno versus Xander Zayas. Let's say they meet around, let's see, they meet around 160. Let's just say.
Okay.
Who else? We could. I'm telling you, I know Puerto Rican has talented fighters. We have some talented fighters. Let's make it a thing. Let's do a 5-on-5 at MSG, or even start small. Do it at the
right,
Hulu Theater. You know what I'm saying?
right.
Do it small. But like I said, let's fucking do it. Let's
Yeah,
build it up.
yeah. And who knows? Who knows?
I
Listen, off this fight, because there's a lot of things that are going to happen in just this card alone. This card is very important. Why? Because this card is going to show where the rest of the divisions, throughout the divisions and places are going to, how the fights are going to spread out. Meaning, if Subriel wins and there's a rematch between the two of them, um, they can put Puerto Rican, Dominican in the rematch and make a card.
Absolutely. That should be
Yeah,
big.
That's what
yeah.
I'm
You see
saying.
what I'm
That's
saying?
what I'm saying. So let's say, yeah, right. So that's another fight that could happen. Let's say there's a rematch, Puello versus Matias. You know what? If Berlanga beats
Yep.
Shiraz, let's put Adames versus Berlanga.
You
You
feel
know what I'm
me?
saying? We could make
Yo,
Right.
Papi, speaking of
so.
that fight, who you guys got? Belanga or Shiraz?
That's a
Yes.
tough fight.
Listen, I think that's going to be a
That's a
good fight. I
tough
think I
fight.
think it's going to be a very good fight. I think a lot of people are counting Berlanga out. Um, you know, I think it's a good fight. I don't know. We'll see, man. We'll
Shiraz
see.
is a great
I think
boxer.
honestly, listen. Yes, Shiraz is the better boxer. Boxing
Yeah.
abilities. Yes, he's the better boxer. That comment I would make. But the bitch ass move that they're
Yeah.
trying to do, first of all, they robbed the diamonds, and
Hell
everybody
yeah.
knows
Facts.
it.
Fact.
Facts.
Y'all
Everybody, you
should
know what
have
I'm saying? And
partied that night.
what they're trying
Like
to
like a real
hold on,
yeah.
hold on, and what they're trying to do, we already see what they're trying to do. They're trying to line up Shiraz to
Yep.
fight Canelo. Come on, man. So honestly, I hope Berlanga knocks him the
Yeah.
fuck out.
Yeah.
To be
Well,
honest,
look, as far as
I
Turkey,
hope Berlanga knocks him.
let me give you a little insight on Turkey. He does this all the time. He already got this fight like with Hamza and Canelo to put pressure on Berlanga to make him feel like they're overlooking him. So that makes sure that the Berlanga fights harder. And I see what he's doing because if you look at it, he already got Bam Rodriguez going on this Devin Haney mysterious card that you're going to try to build with Brian Norman Jr. And wait a minute, Bam Bam Rodriguez hasn't even fought Kofu yet. And then there's countless of he's got mad fighters already that look at he got William Cepeda fighting Andy Cruz on another card. But William Cepeda hasn't even fought Shakur Stevenson. He does this a lot, and he does this to put pressure on the other guy to make him feel like less than, because it makes like Berlanga. He went out on the post-fight thing and he goes, I know Hamza's your guy. I know he already got you fighting Saul, and it's up to me, and you could hear it. And then I started thinking about what Turkey was doing. He doesn't want boring fights. And since Hamza there is already an ambassador to Turkey, and Edgar Berlanga isn't, if he wins this fight, he's going to become an ambassador and be in the good graces of Turkey. More money, more money, more money. But he does this to tell the other fighter, mira, we're already scheduling this guy for another fight. How do you feel about that? You see what I'm saying? And I'm just like, that's like trying to belittle one dude, but to like keep poking him. Like, mira, we don't believe in you. Pop, pop, pop. Go out there and show the world different. You know
So
what I
how
mean?
about this, guys? Speaking of Shakur and Cameron, who you got, Arlie?
Yo, Shakur's gonna cook that
Shakur's
dude,
gonna
bro.
cook him.
I'm telling you, Shakur's gonna cook him. Shakur's gonna cook him, bro. It's gonna be a boxing lesson, bro. I'm telling y'all. Listen, in my opinion, this is my opinion. I think Cepeda is very overrated. I'm telling you, it's not gonna be competitive, bro. I think it'll be a one-sided boxing lesson. All that punching, all that shit. It's I mean, he could throw all the punches all he wants. He's not gonna hit anything. Shakur's gonna cook him. That's just my opinion.
I think so. I'm on the line with you on that one. I think Shakur Stevenson, overall, if we looked at his record statistically, I think he's probably one of the fighters that fewest gets hit. So it's really hard to punch him flush in the face to Shakur anyway. I think by stat wise, he's probably the fewest punches. And I understand he's going against a volume puncher like in Cepeda. Cepeda will damage your arms. He'll try to like punch your shoulders, your chest, wear down your arms so that you drop your guard, and then he could sneak those shots in on the inside. Depending on Shakur Stevenson's hand situation, which I'm a little concerned about because it seems to be the topic of everybody. How's his hands? How's his hands? And you saw in the Padley fight when he hit Padley, he shook his hand. That was just his last fight. So my concern is his hands. But if his hands hold up, he's gonna beat the brakes off Cepeda, bro. Cepeda's gonna be coming in. He's gonna be uppercutting, check hook, and straight rights all night. He's gonna light Cepeda up.
Well,
but
look at what he did against a pressure fighter like Oscar Valdez.
Oscar Valdez, same thing. But Oscar Valdez just doesn't have the volume of Cepeda. That's it. He's an Oscar Valdez, but Cepeda's a bit more active, a lot more active, in fact, than Oscar Valdez. And Oscar Valdez, yep. Oscar Valdez was trying to see the shot.
No. I gotta address this.
Okay, wait a minute. Oscar Valdez was trying to see the punch. You know, he was trying to see it, where Cepeda doesn't care. He's just working, and that's dangerous. Go ahead. Address what happened.
Eliasel, to be honest, right now you guys are chilling Dominicans and acting like shit is cool. Matias and Puello Dominicans. I'm confused here. The channel's capping. The link is in the chat. We can put it again if you want to hop on and speak your mind, because there's no capping here.
Okay, check it out. Right.
Hey,
right.
drop that link again.
Okay. Hold on. Let me drop it in a second. Wait. First of all, my man, fucking love your energy. Like that you're in the chat. Keep texting. Right. I respect everybody's views and points and stuff like that. No problem. Right. But I'm promoting a fight here. I'm promoting boxing, and I'm promoting it both ways. And the way that I see it, Puerto Ricans are going to come out for Subriel. What am I trying to do? Bring the Dominicans out to believe in this fight like we do. You see? So it's not a point for me to sell you on Puerto Rican boxing. I don't got to do that. We're there. You see what I'm saying? I'm trying to also speak up for our neighboring cousins. And if you find disrespect in the fact that you can't take that a Puerto Rican is showing them a little bit of love here while we're competing with them, I don't know what to say to that.
Papi, just to be clear, I got Subriel Matias by KO by the 10th round.
I got
No
Subriel,
mas.
I got Subriel Matias
That's
stopping
to
him
be
late.
clear.
I
That's
got
to be clear.
I got Subriel stopping him late. I think he stops him in a TKO. That's what I think. If not, the other way I see the fight, I see Alberto Puello outboxing Subriel, frustrating him all night and sliding out of there with a majority decision, something like that. I think that Alberto Puello can and has the ability, and he's the most dangerous boxer that I think Subriel is coming against. What makes this fight so interesting is the level of opposition. Let's not forget that Alberto Puello is the WBC world champion of the world, and he didn't just roll out of bed and grab that belt. Okay. He had some tough fights, he had some close decisions, but every fighter has that in their career. Name me a fighter that doesn't.
Subriel.
So look, what I'm saying is Alberto Puello is undefeated. So I'm gonna put respect on his name. He doesn't know how to lose. He's a world champion. He's coming into the fight a world champion. So I believe if we were really hablando claro, Puerto Rico needs to show up because Subriel lost his belt, right? He has 2 losses, right? He's 33 in age, okay? And if we gotta show up, we got 3 fighters on this card, Puerto Rican fighters, on the same night. Of course, we got Subriel Matias, we got Edgar Berlanga, and we got Shakur Stevenson. They're all fighting on the same card.
Whoa, whoa,
So,
whoa, whoa. And don't forget, we got a pro debut for Jandiel Lozano.
oh, he just got added onto the card.
Yup, he's fighting Alex Paez. His pro debut,
Okay,
Jandiel
so that's
Lozano, 18
4.
years old, Aracaguas, Puerto Rico.
Okay, so ¿quién tiene la presión? Who's the night? Who got the pressure? If the night is hosted by us, we could fall on our faces miserably in this night. We're going to war, bro. We holding his card. So that I'm telling you, Latin people, come up, support the fight. New York, July 12th. I invite all of you, or tune in and do yourselves a favor. Don't stream it and cheat it. You know, it's giving back to them too. And on that night, we need to show up. So Alberto Puello, all he has to do is be himself. All he has to do, he's already the champion. Just be yourself. Do exactly what's been winning you the fight. And as far as Subriel Matias, he needs to come out there and prove to the world that he is truly that guy. Still, that even though you have hiccups and the fight didn't go your way and you lost your belt, you're still a world champion. You know what I'm saying? So there's a lot of history. There's a lot of uh 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 there's a lot on the line. Shakur Stevenson got to defend his belt against Mexico. You know what I'm saying? And then Edgar Berlanga is going against Hamza. You know what I'm saying? So he's going against their country. So there's a lot here. You know what I'm saying? And I like this fight in a lot of different ways. And the winner of this, let's see if these other guys, these other champions at 140, put up a fight like our guys. Let's see if Gary Antoine Russell will sign up to fight Alberto Puello again, because now he got a belt. Let's see what Teofimo Lopez is doing. Is he gonna jump into the mix with us? What
Nope.
about, you know what I mean? Like so we're holding the division together right now. The Latin guys, it's
And
us.
I think it's
Ex-
crazy because if you guys notice, right? Because you know, Puello, look at this is going to be his 4th opponent. That's a fucking, think about it. He was the underdog versus Akhmedov. He won that fight. He was the underdog versus Gary Antoine. Won that fight. I think versus Sandor, was he the underdog? I think he was.
no, not versus Sander.
Okay, so okay, and now he's the underdog versus Matias. You know what I'm saying? Those are 4 very good fighters in a row. You know, while the other champions were running away from Matias. And let's remember, this is not a mandatory. This is a voluntary. Puello
Yeah,
offered, his
and
team
Subriel has
offered,
been very grateful for the opportunity.
and I respect that about him. I respect that about him because he said, listen, he didn't have to fight me. He offered me the fight, and that's why he didn't have a problem with a rematch clause because Puello didn't have to fight him. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
But it will show you that Puello got balls. The
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
motherfucker got balls. He said,
absolutely.
all right, this motherfucker's a killer. I'll fight
Mm-hmm.
him. Give me a rematch clause, that's fine, but I'll fight him.
Yo, I gotta fucking admit, right? Out of all the people in the world that I thought would fight, that would fight, Subriel Matias, um fucking Alberto Puello stepped up and said, I'll fight him. I'll fight that monster, that boogeyman that you guys say that you guys are all avoiding but don't want to
Yeah.
say his name. Yo, I'll step up. And I was like, holy shit. Yo, none of us, not me, I don't know anybody. We were all sitting there looking at the IBF ranking, waiting for Sabir to get number one. He finally got it. He was the mandatory Richard Hitchens. And we were like, fuck, Richard Hitchens ain't gonna fight him. And out of nowhere, here comes Alberto Puello. Yo, Matias, what are you doing? Let's go. Get in the ring. And
And you know what? You know what? You
I
know
was
what?
like, oh shit.
When
I
you're
gotta
scared of
give
a
it to
fighter,
Alberto Puello.
when you're scared of a fighter, it doesn't matter how much money it pays you. You won't fight that guy because you're
And
scared.
let's keep it
Right.
So
100.
he
Let's keep
choose.
it
So
100.
he
Let's keep
choose.
it 100.
He choose
No,
Matias
no, no,
because
no.
he
And I
thinks
want to say
he
this
can
real
beat
quick.
him.
Wait.
No, I want to say this real quick because let's remember that when Matias was the champion, Richardson Hitchens was the number one rank,
Oh
right?
yeah.
When they asked him about, hey, are you going to exercise your mandatory? Because we know the IBF does not play with a mandatory. The IBF will strip you if you don't fight your mandatory.
Right.
And all Richardson Hitchens had to do was, you know, enforce, say, listen, I want to make me the mandatory. They would have made it
Right.
mandatory, and Matias would have been forced to fight him. Now, when he was asked about fighting Matias, he came up with all type of excuses. Oh
Mm-hmm.
no, the rehab. I don't like the weight. I don't like the 10-pound rehydration clause. But as soon as Paro won that fight,
Everybody jumped on board.
he
He
jumped
may
on board
wait.
right away.
No problem. We may
You
wait.
know
No
what I'm saying?
problem.
You know what
Yep.
I'm saying? So, and
Hay
then
que dársela.
Tio, Teofimo Lopez.
También.
Listen, he trying to play Matias. Come on, man, like stop it.
They offered Teofimo Lopez $4 million, his highest payday. It was almost
Yeah,
4 times higher than his highest payday ever to fight Subriel Matias, and he walked away from the negotiation table, not giving anybody an explanation. Okay, this is the threat that is Subriel Matias, and that's why I give Alberto Puello his flowers for being the man that put his belt on against arguably one of the division's toughest fights. And I can't say enough to it. Now, whoever wins the fight, may the best man win. Okay? But at the end of the day, I'm not gonna shy away from the fact that, damn, bro, this dude stepped out of nowhere and
Round
said,
one,
yo, let's go, me and you outside.
brother.
Man, on some man-to-man shit.
You as a person that really knows boxing because you know boxing, you know your shit.
Mm-hmm.
I want you to give some light to some Boricuas, some YouTube channel, also about Boricuas that are there speaking a lot of shit.
Yeah.
That they're saying that Puello is scared of Matias because he put a rematch clause. So I wanted to please argue in that and to give some light to people and explain how things works in boxing.
That
And
was a smart negotiation.
Yeah.
yeah. And the fact that Puello put a rematch clause in the contract doesn't mean he's scared. Please argue in that.
Okay, that right there speaks to your awareness of you are a champion, and if you were to fall, your next fight is going to be for a championship fight. If Subriel Matias's team wasn't smart enough at the time to put a rematch clause against Liam Paro, he wouldn't
Exactly.
be in the situation where he's
Exactly.
in today. Now, would he? Right? So
Yeah.
it took this fighter in Alberto Puello to give Subriel Matias a shot at his belt, but he was smart enough as a businessman to negotiate a rematch clause. If I want to fight you again, meaning maybe there's a chance I lose, maybe there's a chance I win, but guess what? If you're going to take my belt, I'm going to fight you twice. You understand? And I don't think that that's fair if I'm signing up to fight you not once, but twice. How am I scared of you? You see, I'm just been protecting my investment all around the board. If I fuck up on that night and you get me, whatever I did wrong, I'm going to go fix it and I'll see you again. How are you saying I'm scared? And you did, if you guys didn't do that for your man, that's on you.
That's up to you, exactly.
That's on you.
And let's keep it 100, right? It's not like, for example, it's not like Puello has the luxury to be a Mexican, right? It's not like he's a Mexican fighter that we see these Mexican fighters get a million opportunities. Why?
Exactly.
Because the Mexican fan base is
Facts.
huge. They get mass support. These guys keep getting opportunities, right?
And they got
So
the WBC on their side.
right.
Yeah.
So exactly. So Puello doesn't have the luxury to to you know to say, you know what, I'll get another opportunity if I lose to Matias.
Right.
Nah,
Right.
that's not how it works. That's not
He
Right.
got
how
a
it works.
match matches.
Right.
You know what I'm
See, he
saying?
has a WBC. He has a WBC title. He just doesn't have the Mexican backing
Exactly.
behind that WBC title. So he's kind of out there on his own with it, but he's proven to be a champion and he won the belt. So granted. So what he's trying to do is impress the WBC for that they can believe in him as a champion because history tells us that Dominican fighters only gone so far, you see? But now I'm saying we live in a different era now, and I think that they have an opportunity to really establish themselves and win or lose or loss. I'm trying to tell you guys, if they go out there and make this a classic fight, right? Both their stocks are going to go up. We're going to want to see them. You know what I'm saying? It's not like they're going to be screaming, "Oh, Devin Haney and so forth," and William Skull. I want to see William Skull next. Then nobody's saying they want to see William Skull next.
And I'm telling you, Puello's going to be there to fight. Yes, he's going to use
Yeah,
his boxing abilities. Yes, he's going to use his boxing skills. But Puello's not a runner.
right.
Puello's gonna bite down and he's going to exchange. You know what I'm saying? I think it's going to be a great fight, man. But
Yo, you
listen,
know what I want? You know what I want? I want Ojo Santiago to activate his mandatory to fight fucking Tio para que le rompa la madre el cabrón ese.
Ryan Fraser says, I think all champions should always have a rematch clause, just like Brian Norman Jr.
no,
has a rematch clause against versus Haney. It should sometimes,
here's the
like,
thing. No,
yeah.
here's the way that I believe. Right.
Uh-huh.
For example, if it's a mandatory, right? If you have fought your way to become the number one contender and the mandatory for somebody, then you either fight them or you get stripped, right? Now, if your team, right, if you're the number one mandatory and the opposing team, you
All right.
know,
How about this? How about this? How about this? How about this? Let me land that plane. How about if you're the mandatory and you become the number one mandatory and they order you to fight the champion? In that regards, you only get one shot at the belt. But if you're a world champion and you had a voluntary, and let's say you gave the number 15 guy a shot at the belt, right? That's when you can put in a rematch clause.
all right,
He's
that's what
gonna
I'm
have
saying.
he's gonna have to beat you twice. But the mandatory, it should be like a one night thing.
That's what
That
I'm
way
saying.
that way it can break you away from the rematch and you're able to do whatever you want. But when you're volunteering, I think all fighters should put a rematch
It, it's
because
it's
Hot
it's
pot,
smart
yeah.
I
business. It's
gave you a
smart
shot.
business. It's smart business. If, like I said,
Right,
if you're
right.
doing
If we had a rule like that, yeah.
right,
Yep.
if you're voluntarily giving somebody a shot, okay, if you want to negotiate a rematch clause and your team could do it and the opponent team agreed to it, that's all fair. But as the no as the mandatory, like if you're the mandatory and you want to fight somebody and then it's like nah, you shouldn't have to have
Right,
there are a lot of unnecessary rematches, to be honest. I
right.
think there's some unnecessary rematch clause. I
Yo,
agree.
depending the outcome of the Subriel Matias versus Puello, if Subriel wins by no mas, do you think Puello will take that rematch?
Like I said,
Right?
it all depends how the fight plays out. Look, I'm gonna be honest with you. It all depends how the fight plays out. I think Puello has proven that he got balls. the opponents, the list of opponents that he has fought in a row. I think it proves that he got balls. Um, and it all depends how the fight plays out. If Puello, let's say Puello goes out there and fights his fucking ass off, and takes a beating, but puts up a great fucking fight, and he loses. I wouldn't mind. Let's say, listen, take one fight off, take a tune up, and then fight him again. I don't care. But like I said, Puello has balls. I think he will take the rematch. I
I,
think he
I
will.
think I think it's gonna depend on how bad Subriel dominates that fight. I think if Subriel like really hurts him and finishes him, I don't think I don't think that Puello will take the rematch. That's just my opinion though.
Well, it
depends how
depends
much
how
money
much
go back
damage.
in
Listen,
the
there's a
rematch.
lot of
Yeah.
talk. Listen, there's a lot of talk of Puello of Matias stopping Puello and no mas and all that. I'm telling you, don't be surprised. Don't be surprised if Puello puts him down with them sneaky body shots.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, I'm
Don't be
afraid of those.
surprised. Don't
Oh,
be
I'm
surprised.
afraid of
And
those.
Puello was really hard and really, really good to the body. Really good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So you
don't be
Listen,
guys gotta
surprised.
understand one thing. You guys,
I
and
want
this goes for every boxing
I
champ
want to
that
put this
always
up real
Listen,
quick.
says,
Matias. Listen,
Oh
like I
shit, I
said before.
forgot. I took it
Sorry,
down.
Matias is not a fighter that you knock out to the head. You can't take him. That motherfucker, he got a helmet on, bro. You can't hit him like
Bobby, y'all
you
gotta
got to go to the body.
understand. Y'all gotta understand that a lot of these fights, you guys see Subriel getting hit a lot. But when you rewatch the fight, his defense is a lot better than what people see.
Yeah. He's better defensively on the body shots. He protects his body better than his head because that's where
That is
his
true.
punches are coming from. See, Subriel's the type of person that he punches from his hip. He doesn't punch from the guard like this and throw extend. When he goes from here, the problem with figuring out a fighter like that is that he can lead you with his shoulders. He can jerk right, hit left, jerk left, hit right. And since he's not stationary in front of you, you can't slip. So because they're coming up here from his like that. So when Subir covers up, he's like this and trying to dip his head into the high guard, but he covers his stomach fairly well. He will get caught in exchanges. And the one thing that Subriel tries to do a lot, I noticed this. He'll get in this high guard and he'll let the guy slap him, pop, 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 and he kind of gives the guy false confidence. He's like, "Yo, I'm doing good. Look, I just snapped his head back." And then all of a sudden, the guy goes to exchange. The one good thing about Subriel Matias, he switches up the cadence in his punches, meaning the speed. He'll go pip, pap, boom, right? And he'll slide him in. And he'll lure you asleep. The one thing about Alberto Puello, yes, he's his boxing IQ, I think, is a lot higher than people give him credit for. I'm being honest. I think he knows guys' patterns because the way he's sneaking these shots in, he's putting them in small windows. He knows that the guy's gonna go like this, and boop, and he hits him like that. It's everybody can't do what Alberto Puerto's doing. The way he's thinking as a fighter, I think not a lot of people are recognizing this. I don't know why, but he's real smart. Now, Subir's real tough. He's real tough. And that's what I gotta see. That's what makes this fight so interesting for me. Is that we're really dealing with a big puncher that can take a lot of punishment and keep going forward. And we're dealing with a skilled fighter that can move, read patterns, and be accurate as fuck. I mean, this fight is just spells freaking fight of the night for me. And what both men are trying to prove, the machismo of both guys, now that they got the fight, and Alberto Puello is not getting a lot of credit for calling Subriel out. He got the belt. He's saying, "Yo, you come outside and fight." And Subriel said, "Tu me llamaste a mí. Are you pointing to me?" And he's like, "Yeah." Well, then let's go outside. Yo, and this is amazing. And it's going to be outside on a tennis court in New York City in July 12th. And I want all you guys to tune in and watch us rock out. You know what I'm saying? And let's just have an amazing night of boxing, guys. Listen, you guys have been amazing, but I got to go build my daughter's pool right now. I'm having a great live. I invite you guys to come on, hop on tomorrow with me, or tonight we can do this. But I got to do my dad duties here, and I got to cut this short right here. Well, not short, but I hope everybody, you guys had a wonderful time here. Give us a thumbs up. Thank you to my panelists. Can you guys say your names? And if you guys got any social media or anything, you guys want to say anything before we go? Now's the time.
Adi, I just want, like I said, man, I appreciate the time. I appreciate you letting me up here. Yeah, I'm just on Twitter. That's all I'm on. I don't do any social media. Just
Yo,
for
Adi,
boxing.
thank you for coming on, my man. You've been amazing. Antonio.
Yeah, here.
Yeah, listen, my man Antonio, thank you for stopping by. Thank you for bringing your insight. You guys are feel free to stop by anytime, and we can
Thank you,
talk
brother. Thank
boxing.
you.
Frontline, you know it. You my man. Listen, I will
It's
be at this
fucking
fight.
war week.
Let's
Let's fucking
go!
go.
Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Thank you,
Let's
brother. Let's
go,
go.
baby. Let's
Have a
get
nice
it.
one. Have a nice one.
It's been an amazing show. Thank you, guys. We're gonna have a lot to talk about leading into fight week. I will be there at the fight, and I'll see you all then. Until the next time, round one.
Peace.
Peace.